Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Backroad Broadcasting's presentation of high school football, where tonight the Mustangs open their season against the Trojans of Southeast Saline. And it wouldn't be football season without my co-host this evening, the man, the myth, the legend, Judd McCormick. How are we doing this evening?
Doing good. Glad to be back here on another wonderful season of high school football. I don't know about the myth, the legend. I think we can just say the old man.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we get started on our pregame show, I'm going to throw a little nods to the Backroads breakdown of the previous season. Here we go.
Yeah, so Mustangs last year going 9-2, losing out to eventual state champion Andale, but started out with a week one loss, 26-38 at Southeast of Saline at Trojans as a 2A sub-state team. Dalton Whitworth went for 18 for 25, good for 261 yards and 3 passing touchdowns, 2 of them to Ethan Burgess, who had 125 yards receiving, and another one to Logan Sturdy. Whitworth also had a rushing touchdown. Jaden Winans added 88 yards on 12 carries. Cody Howard led the team in tackles with 15, while Dagan Vedeska recorded 2 interceptions in that game. A rematch starting here tonight to start out the season.
Week 2, 41-20 in St. Mary's, the eventual 1A state champion. Whitworth, 19 of 30 for 322 yards and 4 touchdowns, 2 to Burgess with 214 receiving, 1 each to Sturdy and Vedeska. Winans ran for 93 yards on 10 carries and recorded 2 touchdowns in the game. Howard led the team in tackles with 11, while Peyton McCarr recorded a sack, and Venduska snagged another interception.
Moving on to week 3 opener against Riley County Falcons with a win of 45-21. Whitworth was 20 of 29 for 334 yards, 4 touchdowns and 1 pick. Threw 2 more to Burgess for 90 yards, 1 each to Maddox Ibarra and Yancey Spiller. Winans had 18 carries for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Cade Welfinger led the team with 16 tackles, 2 fumble recoveries.
Week 4 win 44-28 versus Silver Lake Eagles. Whitworth's third game with 300 yards plus, going 21 of 34 for 337 yards and 3 touchdowns. Burgess received 2 TDs and 114 yards, and Ibarra recorded the other TD for 47 yards on his long bomb catch. Winans 23 for 140 yards and 3 TDs.
Week 5 win, 56-21 versus the Marysville Bulldog in district play. Whitworth ran for a touchdown and threw 24-34 for 277 yards and 3 touchdowns, all 3 to Burgess, 207 yards catching. Winans added third straight 100-yard-plus performance on 130 yards on 19 carries, tallying 4 touchdowns of his own. And Cooper Biddle had a career night on the O-line with 18 pancakes.
Week 6, another district play matchup, 70-20. Whitworth 226 yards on 9 of 17 passes for 2 TDs, while adding 1 on the ground. McCarn got in on the action with a TD pass of his own. Wine exploded for a season-high 233 yards on 11 carries and 6 scoring TDs. McCarn also led the team in tackles with 14, while Sturdy snagged an interception.
Week 7 win, 42-21 versus Clay Center Tigers in district play. Whitworth 26-33 for 416 yards and 5 touchdowns in the air, added 1 on the ground. Burgess on the receiving end of 3 touchdowns and 205 yards. Brandon Crane, Bill, and Ibarra each had a touchdown catch. McCarn led the defense with 16 tackles and a sack, while Trevor Christian recorded a sack. Spiller added another interception.
Another district play, Week 8 win versus Concordia Panthers. Whitworth 28 of 41 for 337 yards with 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. His 4th 300-yard performance. Burgess catching 4 TDs and 220 yards, and Sturdy recorded another 2 touchdown catches.
Week 9 win over Clearwater, round 1 of the playoff. Whitworth had a night, season high, 577 yards, 44-53, 7 touchdowns and 2 picks, and a rushing touchdown. Burgess 4 touchdowns, 171 yards. Sturdy had 107 yards, touchdown. Venduska 109 yards, touchdown. Ibarra 44 yards, touchdown. Spiller 90 yards, no touchdown. Sorry, Yancey. Winans added 167 yards on 19 carries and a touchdown.
We lead to Week 10 with events versus the Swathers in the regional. Whitworth 8 of 15, 95 yards and 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Craneville recorded the TD pass. Winans also held only rushing for 25 yards and 2 TDs. Defense came through with 4 players in double-digit tackles. McCarn with 17, Venduska with 11 and a pick. Howard and Welfinger with 10 tackles each.
And then finally, Week 11 lost to Andale, a 3-time defending state champions, and go on to win their 4th straight title. Mustangs only managed 101 yards total with 7 turnovers. That forced the Mustang defense to put up a strong fight, and they played valiantly all night. Mustang season coming to an end with 9 wins, 2 losses, but another regional championship, another winning season, and another step forward for the Rock Creek Mustang football team. And that brings us to this year's team as we're getting ready to lead into Coach Siebens' 5th season, coming off of 3 straight winning seasons here as the head coach of the Rock Creek Mustangs. We're about 10 and a half minutes away from play, so we'll try to recap a little bit of last year's team as well. So thank you all for tuning in. We had a little technical difficulties, but we're up and going. Want to thank the guys that worked really, really hard all week long. We got a new system, new setup up here. They put in a lot of long nights and hard nights to get us up and going, and so we appreciate everybody sticking around with us.
Just under 10 minutes here before kickoff. And, Judd, as you were saying, Sieben's 5th year here, and he's built a great program here at Rock Creek.
Yeah, he really did. He started out the first season 3-5, and since then they've kind of gone on with a winning season every season, and I think last year was just another step in progression to what they're trying to build here. You know, we talked about the seniors they lost last year, you know, Dalton Whitworth, Ethan Burgess, Logan Sturdy, Maddox Abar, Yancey Spiller, Jaden Winans, Cody Howard, Gavin Meyer, Cooper Biddle, Carter Wilkins, Zachary Dye, Sean Coughlin. You know, that was a big group of seniors, but it's not the first time he's lost a lot of seniors. You know, the same thing happened after the 2021 class. That was a great group of seniors that went away, and nobody probably really expected a whole lot. I think they won a regional again the very next year. So
Indeed, they did.
So when I talked to Coach Sieben, you know, they don't see it as a rebuilding type of year. They are pretty confident it's a reloading or a retooling. You know, a lot of players they got coming back. Got good time on JV as well as some other players that were out there. You know, it's hard to replace some of those things that you went or lost. You know, Mustangs gone on the offense is Dalton Whitworth, who led the whole state in passing yards last season with 3,233 total yards to go along with 38 touchdown passes to his 11 interceptions. We throw out Andale, and really he's only got, 5 interceptions on the year. I think he had 6 in that game. Also gone are 3 great targets in receiving core. Ethan Burgess, who had 1,491 yards, 22 touchdowns. Yancey Spiller had 458 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Logan Sturdy had 413 yards and 5 touchdowns. But actually, I think the hardest offensive member that they're probably going to have to replace off of last year's team just maybe Jaden Winans, who rushed for 1,290 yards and 21 touchdowns, and really only 9 games. You know, he got hurt in that Clay Center game, didn't play in Concordia. And, you know, did well in a few games after that, but when we got to the Andale game, I think he was injured again on the first or second play and was out for the rest of the game. So 1,291 yards on 9 games is pretty impressive stat, and, you know, that's why he's playing at the next level right now.
Yeah, and to add on to what you said there, Judd, when you build a successful program like Shane Sieben has at Rock Creek in his past 5 years, you got to look at not only, you know, losing the seniors and majority of them going on to play at the next level, but a lot of the underclassmen as well, sophomores, juniors, getting time in and time as well.
Yeah, you know, the other thing is that last year they had 2 offensive linemen that were basically, you know, stellar offensive linemen. We talked about Cooper Biddle had 18 pancakes one particular game. Gavin Meyer also was an anchor on that offensive line. But, you know, the good news is they have guys coming back. You know, they got number 55, Malachi Bell, who's an all-league center last year. They have number 61, Mason Faith, who was an all-league tackle last year, coming back. You know, and so those are going to center the offensive line, and we probably didn't talk about them enough last year and the job they did, but you don't get 1,290 yards rushing and 3,000 yards passing without an offensive line to give you those opportunities. So we'll try to focus more on those guys up front and the job that they do. And, you know, there's going to be some new guys coming in, and they're going to have to do their job because, you know, you got new players coming in this year. You know, new quarterback's going to be number 8. It's going to be Mac Lee. He's going to get the start tonight. You know, he led JV for most of the last season to an undefeated season, but had an injury mid-season and missed some games, but came back. But, you know, there was a bit of a quarterback competition in camp this year, and so not only did Mac Lee have to win that spot, but the good news is I think the Mustangs have more depth this year than what they maybe had last year.
I can agree with that statement. Mac Lee, the man of many trades. I remember calling his name quite a few on the broadcast last year with extra points and kicking field goals as well.
Yeah, not only does he have a leg, but now we get to find out if he's got an arm as well. Exactly. And some of those targets he's going to be throwing to, you know, number 3, Brandon Craneville, BK got in on some plays last year, got some touchdowns. So he's going to be really leading that receiving core, which I think is a more balanced core. They may not have the explosive speed that Ethan Burgess provided, but, you know, Ethan got doubled up a lot last year, you know, and so to spread the weapons around, I think Lee now is comfortable with all of his receiving core. So you got Craneville coming back. You got number 13, Vendeska, coming back. But then joining them, you know, you got number 1, Eli Bell. Number 34, Trevor Christensen's actually going to see more time probably in that slot position and tailback. He kind of backed up winding some last year, but I think we'll see him more at wideout this year and get his speed out on the corners.
Indeed. And One thing we saw last year, Burgess had a great season receiving as well, but one thing we saw is how they kind of shared the wealth. And I think that's something we could see in this offense tonight here as well.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, this receiving core is, you don't have the explosive speed that Burgess had, but my gosh, they're tall, and they can go up and they can get that high ball. You got Vendeska at 6'2", Cranebill's at 6'1" on the outside edges, and even some of the receivers down the line. You got speed with Dawson Rankin, who's actually going to be playing some cornerback, probably one of the faster players on the team, and then sophomore number 4 Gavin Rosa and Hunter Procish both were taking snaps out there. So I think they just have depth to spread around a little bit more. The receiving is going to be a really big thing, and I actually expect to see them probably even go with a lot of empty backfield this year. And really, they were kind of a run and shoot last year, but with a 1,200-yard rusher, I think you're going to see a lot more spread and a lot more shoot than run this year.
Indeed, and you know what they say, offense sells the tickets, but defense wins the games. What do you think the Mustangs will come out defensive-wise this evening?
So they're going to run a 4-3 base defense, and, they have the blessing of having their leading tackler from last year, number 12, Peyton McCarn, coming back. He was an absolute beast last year, led the team with 95 tackles, 4 for a loss, throwing a couple, 2 or 3 sacks there as well. Also, we'll be returning some defensive line and linebackers. Welfringer will be on the outside edge. I think what you're going to see this year, shockingly enough, at the Jamboree, they had one of their receivers playing a rush in. So I think the corners are going to be, much closer, much tighter coverage, because I think you're going to see some speed rushes off the edges now. And, of course, up the middle, you're going to have basically, the All-American going both ways right there with Mason Faith, who'll be playing D-line as well. And Bell may see some defensive line as well, but I think they're going to try to say it's hard to play Ironman football at this level, especially D-line, when you're pushing offense all the time and pushing on defense all the time. But yeah, they'll be running a 4-3 primarily. Sometimes they'll go into a stack. And really what they're going to be looking for and keying off of is, you see a pro set with a tight end or a 2-back set, then they're going to really be looking to go into basically like a cover 2 type offense. And if they see a spread, they'll be going into a cover 3 type defense. Sorry, excuse me.
And one thing I really liked about last year was how well the defense kind of responded to adversity. If there was times that they needed to get a big stop, whether it was 3rd down, 4th down, however goal line stand, it seemed like they were able to find that and capitalize on that.
Yeah, I feel like the defense got better and stronger week in and week out. I feel like early on in the season, they had some silly mistakes, maybe some silly errors and some penalties here and there. But, man, when they got into that district play and when they got into the round of playoffs against Clearwater and Heston and particularly Andale, even though the score doesn't say it, the defense, I think, really, really stepped up and was playing really, really good ball at the end of the year. And I think they're really hoping a lot of that carries over, because the defense really might have to shoulder the load a little bit early on until the offense kind of finds their rhythm, finds their groove.
And what you were saying, to touch back on that, their Week 10 win against Heston, just reading some of the stats, McCarn with 17 tackles, Vendeska with 11 and a pick, Howard and Welfring with 10 tackles each, Yancey with an interception, Ezra with a sack. I mean, if your defense is getting all that, I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, when you're going through the game by game, sometimes you see the same player coming up all the time, and they really did. They shared the wealth on defense, and and it was a lot of their linebackers, a lot of their safeties are getting in on the action. But Welfringer had 4 fumble recoveries, which is it's crazy in high school football to see that kind of thing. But yeah, so it'll be interesting here to be a rematch, leading off of last year's game, Southeast Saline, and they're kind of in the same boat. These schools have so many similarities. It's kind of striking, not only from the way the schools are set up out in the country outside of major metropolitan areas, but they're going to run the same kind of style offense and defense. Difference is going to be is that right now for Southeast of Saline Trojans, really I think what they're going to be keying on right now is they lost their quarterback Gebhardt last year as a senior, who's actually out at Fort Hays now, going to be playing football out there, but they return a 1,000-yard rusher themselves and number 3 Friesen, and I think that's going to be key number 1 for the Mustang defenses. Keep an eye on 3. You got to shut down 3. Those ends are going to try to get to the corners, turn him back in, let the linebackers do their job.
And we are just a minute away now from kickoff. And before we get started here, what are the Backroads route to victory this evening?
So the Backroads route to victory, Southeast Saline, really what they want to do is they want to basically, first and foremost, take care of the ball. They don't want to put the ball on the ground. They know that the Rock Creek Mustangs have an explosive offense, so they want to make sure they keep that offense on the sideline as long as they can. That's why I expect to see more of a run game than a pass game out of them. They say they'd like to go 50-50. I don't really see it being like that. I think they'll be running a little bit more. And really they want to move that ball and, like I said, keep making those plays and holding on to that ball. For the Mustangs, really theirs is just kind of get into the rhythm of the offense, spread the ball around, get comfortable, make sure the new players are on track with the coaches. Both teams have a lot of younger players that have played in the past, but they have a lot of new starters, and I think both of them are kind of in that same boat. Want to make sure that the coaches that have been coaching them up since camps this summer and all through the fall, make sure the players are on the same page as them. And so, we'll see. They might be a little bit jitters early on here in this first quarter while both teams kind of settle in and get ready to play, but really the key, I think, on both sides is going to be that offensive line and controlling the line of scrimmage. And whoever wins the battle up front should probably win the battle on the scoreboard as well.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Mac Lee set to kick things away. Number 13, Cameron Whitty, and number 3, Nathan Friesen, back deep for Southeast Trojans. Whitty on the reception of the kick, and we're going to have a flag on the play early here. We will see, I believe that might be coming back. We'll wait for the official ruling here.
So that was kind of one of the things that hurt the Mustangs last year. When I go back and look at last year's game, they had 50 yards and penalties, and really Southeast Saline kind of controlled the line of scrimmage and really controlled the clock and time of possession. It looks like this one's going to be Southeast Saline, but I haven't actually seen a signal yet.
I have not either. I think it's group consensus that they're moving back there.
Looks like it's going to be a holding.
That is 15 yards holding.
Yeah, so that's not going to be a spot foul from this year. That's going to be a little bit different. So especially even on regular offense, that's been a rule change. So any kind of an offensive penalty like that normally is a spot foul like a holding. That's actually going to be assessed from the last line of scrimmage now.
And give is to Whitty on the carry. Correction, number 16, Daniel Carroll on the carry. Peyton Karn on the stop.
16 got some playing time last year. Carroll saw some time, and I guess he's been playing safety since he was a sophomore. He's a pure athlete, so got to start with 316 right there.
Man in motion. Carroll fires to his left. That's caught. He's got some ground to work with. Past the 40 now, cuts back, and he'll be taken down right at midfield by a host of Mustangs. That is number 22, Tucker Thaxton, on the reception. Big play early there for the Trojans.
Yeah, Thaxton's number is probably going to get called a lot tonight. That's probably going to be their primary receiver they're going to be looking at. So surprised to see them coming out so quickly in a pass play. I thought they might try to establish the run game, but maybe they thought the Mustangs were expecting that as well.
Two receivers near side. Drops back to pass, rolls out to his right. There's Thaxton again. Excuse me, that is Boyd on the reception. Be short of the first down marker.
So Mustangs kind of on their heels a little bit. We've seen this some last year as well. We used to talk about the bend but don't break. They get inside that red zone, and things get a little bit tougher against that Mustang speed.
This is the sweep play to Friesen. Friesen's got some room up the left side. Crosses the 30-yard line. That'll be another first down for the Trojans. Good opening drive here for the Trojan offense.
Yeah, and they are mixing it up a little bit more than I thought. Like I said, they wanted to try to go 50-50. Kind of right now they are. I think they've got 2 pass and 2 run plays, so they are going 50-50 right now. Defensive line for the Mustangs got to start shooting the gaps, start getting the backfield, start disrupting some things.
Carroll joined in the backfield by Friesen. Motion man is Whitty. Fires over to the right side. His intended target, Boyd. I believe a little miscue there. Boyd looks like he was going for the block there.
Yeah, he was setting up the block that whole time, so he wasn't even looking for the ball. So, again, that's some of the things that happen early on in the season, still learning all the plays, maybe just a little miscommunication. They get the plays in from the sideline. They're getting signaled in from the coaches, and so, when it's on the far side, maybe he just missed a signal.
Boyd receiver at the bottom of your screen. Friesen in the backfield. Drops back to pass, looking right, looking back left. Pressure coming, evades, rolls to his left, slings it to Thaxton. Incomplete pass. 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Trojans.
Yeah, you can see him working through his progressions there. He looked at a couple different receivers, tried to find the open man. I actually thought he had Witt there on the outside open right off the bat, but Christensen was closing that gap pretty quickly, so I don't think he felt comfortable going with that. So good job by the Mustangs there, kind of coming out in that cover 2 zone and getting back into where they needed to be.
2 receivers at the bottom of your screen. One on the far side, that's Boyd. Fumbled snap. Carroll rolls out to his left. He's going to hit number 28. That is Evan Watkins on the reception.
Yeah, I think that was supposed to be a designed screen, but with the fumbled snap, the timing kind of got thrown off a little bit. But good job of the Mustangs getting back in there and stopping them on that 3rd down. So here you got 4th down and about 6 coming up. Or 4th down and 5. They move the yard marker on me.
Carroll in the shotgun set, rolls to his left. Fires, Thaxton out of bounds, and passes incomplete. Mustangs will take over on downs.
So that's probably something to keep in mind there. You know, you got a left-hander coming out there on the side, slinging it from the left side, so they're going to get that quarterback in motion. They're probably going to be going that direction way more often. So I'm sure the Mustangs saw that on game film, but that's the first I really kind of noticed it. So it's something to keep an eye on. A la Steve Young.
And I like that drive for the Trojans coming out. First drive, not too bad. Got some momentum there, but that's the way I play football right there. You know, I don't punt no matter if that's how I play Madden. That's my game plan. You know, I could be backed up in my own end zone, 4th and 42. I'm going for it.
I can tell you it's probably something you're not going to see much out of Southeast Saline either. Is you're not going to see a lot of punts. They're probably not going to try for a lot of field goals or a lot of point after attempts. Rock Creek, you may see a little bit more kicking game. But Southeast Saline, that might be one of their weaker areas, and they're going with that mantra that they're going 4 downs all the time. So we got us a timeout and a break in action here. We're going to bring this break brought to you by Dara's Corner Market, changing the way you think about their gas stations. Come inside to find everything from canned goods to fresh baked pastries and fruit. Also, don't hesitate to download the Dara's app today to get access to discounts and rewards, as well as any great deals and specials every day. Serving 7 convenient locations in your Manhattan and St. George area, Dara's Corner Market's more than just your neighborhood gas station.
Alrighty, 1st and 10, ball and 23 for the Mustangs. Empty set for Lee. Motion man is number 34. That is Trevor Christensen. We're going to have a flag on the play.
I'm going to guess it's
I believe this one is going to be a legal formation.
Or motion.
Or
yep.
motion.
Not terribly uncommon for the Mustangs early on. Sometimes they get a little exuberant and have multiple men moving at the same time. Not the first time we've seen that. Probably won't be the last time we see that for the Mustangs, but they'll work on cleaning that up.
Especially with an offense where you're spread out as they are, a lot of moving parts.
Yep, Southeast Saline's going to be running a base 3-4 defense. A lot of moving parts.
A lot of movement. There we go.
A lot of moving parts.
3 receivers.
Lee trying to get everybody set.
Christensen back in motion. Mac Lee on the keeper. Well defended by the front line of the Trojans.
Yeah, trying to establish a run game for the Mustangs is going to be very interesting. You know, Drew Becker is going to be their primary running back. Number 26 there is a junior. He's got the daunting task of replacing Winans in his 1,200 yards, but they're going to throw him out as well, some slot back. So as you can see, they're going empty set right now.
Trips far side toward the sideline. Bell at the bottom of your screen. Here's Lee. Fires, almost intercepted there.
Yeah, that was pretty telegraphed. Lee was looking at one guy the whole time. I think the coaches would like to see him kind of check through his progression a little bit more, but he was looking one spot and the whole time, and he was looking at Craneville the whole time. So it's going to bring up a long 3rd down attempt here. 3rd and 15.
2 receivers either side. Lee joined the backfield by Becker. Drops back to pass. He's going to fire towards the sideline. That is caught by number 3, Brandon Craneville on the reception. Big 3rd down play there for the Mustangs.
Yeah, they needed that too. That was a 3rd and 17, and good job by Craneville there trying to find where that 1st down marker is and making sure he was behind it, and he just got to it and got turned around, and that pass was right there. So good timing there by Mackley to get that in. So, you know, a couple more of those. I think that'll be a good confidence booster for number 8.
If I'm not mistaken, we might have seen that play a time or two.
Maybe a
Here's
time or two.
Becker, and he'll be brought down by number 75 of the Trojans. That is Brody Chambers on the stop.
Yeah, so I had a chance to talk to Becker and the Jamboree, and I was asking him, I was like, do you have the speed? He's like, no, I may not have the speed, but he goes, I can run just as hard as the rest of them. So that's what I expect to see out of him is he may not have the breakaway speed you look for, but he's going to put everything he's got in every single carry he's got.
3 receivers near side. Lee rolling out to his left, fires to Venduska. Venduska reaches the sideline. Will be a little short of the first down. Nice play there for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and the Mustangs use all 4 of their downs sometimes too. So even though it's second down, they're not trying to get everything they got in one play. They know that they've got an opportunity. They'll take what the defense gives them. And, we saw that a lot last year. If they give them 6, 7 yards, they'll take it.
Split receivers either side. Audible. Handoff is to Becker up the middle. Spins off one defender, and he's good for a first down.
Like I said, right there, just nose down, hard running. He wasn't going east and west. He's going north and south, and he picked up the first down, did what he's expected to do out there.
This is one thing we saw with this offense last year. Sometimes it was a shaky start. They might not get the offensive possessions that they need, but once they get those little first downs, big third down conversion, we really see this team blossom.
Yeah, I think everybody worries about the long ball right now sometimes for Rock Creek. That was great penetration right there.
Well defended. That's number 50 on the stop, Josiah Monday.
Yeah, senior out there for Southeast Saline. He had that play sniffed out with that man in motion. He was hitting Christensen before he even had the ball.
It's a great representation of starting the work week right there. Sunday happens, and then bam, Monday right there,
Monday's greeting in the backfield with a body slam. That's how my week start.
3 receivers far side. Bell at the bottom of your screen. Mac Lee dropping back to pass. Fires over the middle for Christensen. A little too much mustard on that one, and that'll bring up third down and 14 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, right play, right receiver going down the seam was open. Just a little excited, overthrew him just a little bit. So we expect those things will dial in. Again, this is Mac's first start at the varsity, just a junior, so they've got a couple years of him learning this offense. Well, he knows the offense. He's just kind of learning his personality he's got. So
ball in the 46, 7:19 to play here in the first quarter. Trips far side, 2 receivers, bottom of your screen. Mac Lee pocket collapsing, throws. Nice break up there by number 3 Craneville to avoid the interception. Be a long fourth down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, there was a lot of little things that happened on that play. As a coach, you hate, but you also like. They came with the blitz. The offensive line picked up the blitz, got Mac rolling out to his right, kind of underthrew Craneville, but Craneville did a good job of coming back and making sure that interception didn't happen. So he kind of had to turn into a defender at that point in time. And so don't want to see it happen, but he made the play that they needed to make.
Elijah Bell for the punt. Kick is away. Fair catch by Carroll, made at about the 27-yard line, we'll call it. Need those binoculars you got up here, Judd.
Yeah, I think it's going to be about 27, 28-yard line.
Or my glasses, one of the two, whichever.
Scoreboard guy says 28, so I'm going to go with him. He's got a doctorate.
I'll take it.
We're going to have an official's timeout on the field.
And as well as football season underway, so is the volleyball season for the Mustangs. They kicked off the season this year 4-1 with a second-place finish at the Wabunsee tournament. The Lady Mustangs were in action last night as they swept Riley County and Marysville to improve to 8-1. Coach Snap said that they are very excited for this year's team. They're looking to come out on top in their last year of the Mid-East League and return to state. This year's team shows some new faces as they only have 2 seniors, and the Mustangs return all-state hitter Ayla Klingenberg and Sam Killingsworth, a 6-rotation setter.
And there's no doubt that was wrote by somebody other than Isaiah, because we don't know what a 6-rotation setter is. I don't.
I just wrote what the coach said. Your guess is as good as mine on that one.
Well, thank you, Coach Knapp, for putting that together for us. Mustang volleyball team had a great season last season. Kind of ran into a juggernaut there at state, but again, they're looking to bounce back. What do you say, starting out 8-1 on the season this year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I believe the Rock Creek cross country team starts their season tomorrow morning at Silver Lake, I believe.
3 receivers near side. Carroll rolls out to his right. Pressure coming. He's hit by Bell. Pass will be caught by number 28 of the Trojans. That is Evan Watkins.
We got a scrum on the field. Mustangs got it.
Big play there for the Mustang defense. They'll get prime field position here.
Yeah, good job by the Mustangs. Boy, that's really tough right there for the officials, too. Ball comes out right on the sideline, trying to make sure that ball stays in bound, or recovering players in bounds. Don't have a replay here in high school. We don't have replay yet in Backroads Broadcasting, but we hope to real soon. Even then, that'd be a tough one to look at right there on the sideline. But good job by the Mustang defense coming out after getting stopped, turning the ball over, and on the very first play, getting the ball back, let the offense go back in, try to do business.
One receiver at the bottom of your screen, that's Bell. Lee joined by Becker in the backfield. Lee drops back to pass, pressure coming, fires over the middle for Christensen. That'll be batted away by number 5, Gannon Jacobson.
Yeah, good. Again, good pressure there. Mustangs, trying to pick up that blitz. May have to keep Becker back in the backfield just to pick up that blitz. They're running a 3-4 defense, but they've been sending a backer or an outside linebacker on just about every play right now with a stunt. So really they're rushing 4, but it's that delayed. So, Becker coming out of the backfield thinking everything's clear, and here comes that delayed blitz and pressured Mack and got lucky again there, not throwing the INT.
Empty set. Christensen's in motion. He'll get it on the sweep. And he's going to be met by number 22 of the Trojans. That's Thaxton. And much like you were saying in pregame, Judd, a lot of these, schools in this district are, a lot similar, and we're seeing a lot of dual threat players on both sides.
Yeah, like I said, the parallels between these two teams is really kind of crazy as far as their style of offense or style of play. And they probably won't see it again really until you get deeper into the playoffs, because, a lot of the teams they play run kind of a multi or run set. Nice throw out there to Christensen to pick up that first down. Sorry, I kind of did a little bit.
Oh, no, hey, that's all right, man. I
never know when I'm going to get the call up.
That's right. First down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, so I think the Mustangs right now, that kind of counteract that blitz, change their cadence up a little bit, maybe kind of run some misdirection and get guys going the wrong way like they did with Christensen on the last end around.
Mackley on the keeper. He's going to be brought down by number 48 of the Trojans. That is Bryson Lippold on the stop.
That's a prime example of why I'm not a football coach right there. Boy, I hate running your quarterback. I know there's a purpose for it. I just hate to see, Mackley had an injury last year. It'd make me a little bit nervous, but he's out there. He's ready to go. I think he's just proven it to himself right now. Whatever it takes to win a game, Mackley's ready to do it. You call his number to run or to throw, either one, he's going to do it.
3 receivers near side. That's Bell, Becker, and number 4, Rosa. Pass is incomplete, intended for Becker.
Yeah, I mentioned before the game, the offense is so deep with the receiver crew this year. You got Rosa, you got Bell, you got Craneville. They'll throw Becker out there. You got Vendeska. They had Christensen going out there. I'm still think occasionally you're going to see Rankin come in. You're going to see Procish come in. So they're going to run some different personnel out there, try to find the guys that are doing their routes, hitting their routes, and just try to get into this rhythm here. They keep coming up with 3rd and longs. They keep getting the play they need. They need to do it before 3rd down.
Empty backfield for Lee. Drops back to pass. Fires over the middle. The pass is almost intercepted by number 5 of the Trojans. That is Gannon Jacobson.
Yeah, I think that was intended for Vendeska going down the middle. It looked like it was maybe leading them a little bit too much. But again, the Trojans came with a blitz on there. Mustangs did a good job picking it up, and Mackley's still getting a little bit of a hurry in there. So he's not getting an opportunity to get too comfortable, but it looks to me like the Mustangs are going to try a long field goal right here with, again, the man with the leg, Mackley.
One thing I will say about the Mustangs offense, Mackley settling into new quarterback position this year, but he's doing it well. A really good job of navigating the pocket.
Looks like we're going to have about a 35, 37-yard field goal.
Kick is up. Just a little short. 0-0 ball game still. 5:13 left here in this first quarter.
That's certainly within his range. I mean, we've seen him kicking those before. They've actually got another kicker as well as a freshman. He's the kicker of the future, I think. I was watching him, and he was kicking bombs from 40 yards out. So Mustang's going to have a kicking game. You know, it's early on game one. Why not go for it? You got a long 15 yards to try to pick up the first down. If you think you're in field goal range, take advantage of it. There's not going to be very many teams they play against that's going to have that kind of well-rounded special teams that I think the Mustangs will have.
This is Breaking the Action is brought to you by Farmer State Bank, your full-service bank with over 100 years of community banking service. Founded in 1898 in Westmoreland with branch locations in Onega and Manhattan. Farmer State Bank provides a variety of personal and business services, including checking, savings, and IRA accounts. Students can earn cash for good grades with their books and Bucks checking account. To learn more, visit any of their 3 locations or visit them online at bankwithfarmers.com. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. A little back and forth affair here, first quarter.
Yeah, it is a little bit back and forth. Teams are still trying to kind of find their way, but, you know, game one of the season kind of expected that. Not only that, but, you know, hot night. I think it was 94 degrees at kickoff. It's going to be starting to cool off just a little bit here. Now the sun's going down, but that could be a factor.
Here's number 30 on the carry. That is Grady Gebhardt. Nice run on the play. I believe, call it 9 yards on the play. It'll be about a yard short of the first down marker.
Yeah, number 30, Gebhardt, just another brother in the long line of Gebhardts that played at Southeast Saline. You know, Mitch Gebhardt's the head coach there. Like I said, his son was a quarterback last year. He actually had twins. One was a quarterback, one was a receiver. Luke, as the quarterback, is now going to be playing at Fort Hays, redshirted this year.
We're going to have a penalty on the play that'll back up the Trojans.
But safe to say the Gebhardts is a football family.
Right, you are there. Here's Carroll, empty backfield. Man in motion's freezing. Carroll will keep it, and he'll be brought down by a whole herd of Mustangs on the play.
And I actually expect to see that a lot. With the speed that the defense has, I really expect to see a lot of gang tackles, swarm tackles. Could become an issue, again, if their speed, they start over-pursuing, you know, you get some kind of reverse in there. So that's going to be the key is, yes, we know you're fast, but make sure you stay at home, stay in your lanes, do your job you're supposed to do, don't over-pursue.
And one thing I've liked from this Mustang defense is they're substituting speed on the edge as well instead of just size. Here's a check down pass to Friesen.
Yeah, I mean, that may pay off a little bit more, a little bit down the line. Right now, they're kind of struggling getting off the edges. But, yeah, with Welfringer and Bell on the outside edges, they definitely got speed on those edges. Right now, Southeast Saline is handling those pretty well. So we're starting to see some players cycle in and out on defense, you know. Maybe partially just trying to find, again, the group of players that they want that are comfortable in doing the job, and also maybe just keep fresh bodies out there. But also looks like the Mustangs are switched up their defense. They were going with a 4-3 to start with. Now it looks like they're in a 3-3-5 or a stack.
3rd and 11 now for the Trojans. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. 2 receivers far side. Empty backfield for Carroll. Drops back to pass. Pressure coming, and a host of Mustangs on the stop. Let's see. That was number 30, Cade Welfringer, and number 54, Tristan Meyer on the stop there.
Yeah, good job on the defense there. Kind of seeing that out, bringing up a 4th and 11 right now. Looks like the Trojans are going to line up the punt. Got Christensen and Rankin back deep for the Mustangs to take this. My guess is they will probably try to kick away from number 5 Rankin, and they do. They go towards Christensen. So that's going to be a down ball.
Good catch, though.
It was a good catch, unfortunately, in high school. Once you're down like that, you don't have to be touched. as well as college ball. But yeah, and having a knee on the ground, catching the ball like that, which is fine. Most important thing is he didn't bounce it off his chest and have a live ball out there for a turnover. So catching punts are never easy. It's probably my least favorite thing to ever do and back in my day.
Especially he had the shade too, so you can't use the classic, I lost it in the sun.
But you'd be surprised when that ball goes from sun and it's coming out of the sky and the sun and it's bright sun, all of a sudden it hits the shade. It does do things to you. It's, anybody's played baseball knows the same thing. When a pitcher's thrown out of the sun and it's crossing the shade, all of a sudden the ball looks like it's breaking different than it should be.
Another timeout here. This timeout is brought to you by Faith Furniture, serving the Manhattan and surrounding areas since 1952. Faith Furniture takes pride in the value, selection, knowledge, and family experience for all of their customers. Whether you're looking for a full arrangement or great-looking furniture for your living room, dining room, bedroom, or office, maybe if you're just looking for the perfect accent to tie the room together, Faith Furniture has what you're looking for. When it comes to buying furniture, you got to have faith.
So, yeah, kind of go back and see some comments online. Kind of guess we forgot to mention the fact, Mustangs are wearing their home all-black uniforms, Southeast Salines in their white uniforms, purple helmets, as the visiting team generally in high school football usually wears their darker home colors.
Stacked receivers each side, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Becker will get the handoff, and he'll be stopped by number 30. That is Gebhardt. And I believe that was number 76 as well. Or number 75, excuse me, Brody Chambers on the stop as well.
Yeah, he'll get credit for the tackle, but that play was all done by number 50 Monday, coming in to disrupt everybody's week once again. He was back in that backfield and before the handoff was even done. So they're going to have to figure out, put a body on number 50 to try to keep him out of there.
2 receivers either side. Mac Lee drops back to pass. Pass is complete to Christensen. He'll gain some of the yardage back.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to pick up about 4 or 5 yards on that, bring up a
third and 13.
It's going to be about a 3rd and 8 now.
3rd and 8.
Right now that sun's kind of glinting off the yard marker. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, that's going to allow, they're pretty much having to double team number 50 Monday right now, which is allowing that, that late linebacker blitz to get through that line. And here it comes again, the Mike linebacker coming up the middle.
Mac Lee avoids 1 hit, voids 2, still on his feet. Mac Lee run to his right. Ball pops out, and I believe it's going to go to the Trojans here. Good try there by Mac Lee, but I believe a helmet popped the ball loose, and Trojans will take over.
Yeah, sometimes the quarterback tries to do too much. He was trying to get to the 1st down and pick it up. He was scrambling, doing a good job. But, yep, it got to the point where sometimes it's better just to go ahead and slide and be down. What was going to be a 6-yard loss turned into a 3-yard gain and ultimately turned into a turnover. Now Southeast Saline got it back on the 50-yard line.
Here's Carroll, hands it off to Friesen. Friesen up the middle. Front line stop there for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and he's still going to be the key. Right now they really haven't called on him a whole lot. He hasn't had any big plays, but again, he's a strong, powerful kid. Rushed for 1,002 yards last year, so he can get the job done. So really, you got to stop 3 first.
Carroll rolls to his left, open man. That Thaxton makes a move. He'll be well past the 1st down marker.
Yeah, it was a good move. Yards after catch was a big thing right there. They actually had him stopped, and he made one little shimmy and got past the defender and picked up about another 12 yards after the catch. It's one thing the Mustangs have yet to be able to do. They've been getting some catches, but they're not picking up many yards after the catch, whereas the Trojans are kind of doing that.
Carroll on the keeper. Rolls to his right. We're going to have a flag on the play.
I think we're going to have a holding out there on the outside edge.
I thought he was motioning face mask there, but that'll be holding on the Trojans. That'll back them up 10.
Yeah, high school they don't give the number, but Boyd was guilty on that, number 12. Tough job out there though. Receiver out there on an island trying to get a block. Man's coming on the inside before he even knows the ball's coming. So tough task.
Carroll rolls to his left. Looking, pressure coming. Still on his feet. Dives for the first down marker. Gained some of the yardage back on the holding call, and I believe we'll be at a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, 1st and 20 is a good job downfield. I mean, they almost got a coverage sack out of that. The secondary is doing its job. I think Welfringer, was back there, almost got the sack, number 30. Just got away from him. He managed to pick up 9 yards still on, or 8 yards on that scramble. Good job of the defense coming back, though, recognizing he's past the line of scrimmage.
3 receivers near side, empty backfield for Carroll. Drops back, looking right. Pressure coming, rolls to his left, fires over the middle. And a good defensive play there by Venduska. The pass was intended for number 13, Whitty. Might have got there just a fraction early, but I mean.
Well, that's a play right there where both coaches are going to be angry.
Yeah.
Rock Creek's going to be angry because his man was clearly being held. They kept him from getting a sack in the backfield, and the pass got away. Maybe got there a little bit early, pass interference. So two potential penalties. Neither one get called. They're all set. They canceled out. So, therefore, you can both be – that's what we call a compromise. Both of them are angry. So, 3rd and 12. Student section trying to come alive here for Rock Creek.
2 receivers, bottom of your screen. Carroll rolls to his right. He's going to get the check down to Friesen. Head full of steam. He's going to be just short of the first down marker.
That was a good play there by Rottinghouse. He kind of sniffed that out. I think it was going to be a backside screen, but he was through the blockers. Unfortunately, Friesen just had a little bit too much speed for him, but still disrupted enough to the rest of the defense managed to come back in and stop that. That could have gone for a long ways if Rottinghouse hadn't been out there on that end.
Here's Trojans on 4th. Carroll rolls to his right, fires, hits number 28. That is Watkins. Did he have enough for the first down?
Just enough.
Just enough. Trojans sitting at 50% on the 4th down conversions this evening.
Yeah, Cooper Sieben there is in the backfield again. Mustangs are getting in the backfield. They're just having a hard time getting them flagged down.
Friesen on the left side, still on his feet, finally brought down. Call it a gain of 6 on the play.
That's a good job by Ezra Spiller there. He was playing end on that side. He got up the field, forced that ball back in the middle. If they'd reached that edge, I think they were going to be going all the way. So just what you want your defensive ends to do. Turn everything back up to the middle, let your linebackers and safeties do their job.
Here's Carroll on the keeper. Well defended by number 7, Spiller. I think it's safe to say them Spiller boys know how to play some defense.
Yeah, we said that a lot on defense last few years, haven't we? Older brother down at Emporia State going to be playing safety for the Hornets down there. Redshirted this year, but yeah, Yancey Spiller played receiver and safety, playing safety at the next level.
3rd down, Carroll rolls out to his left, slings it, finds Thaxton. Thaxton dives for the pylon. Did he get there? I'd like to see the replay on that.
I would too.
I mean, it looked like he cleared the pylon there, but
must have had a foot right on about the 2-yard line on the out of bounds marker.
Good awareness there.
Still picked up the first down, so you got 1st and goal from just inside the 5. That's where we need to see the Mustang defense bend but not break, right?
Give us to Gebhardt, gets the edge. He's in for 6. Trojans strike first with 19.1 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
I'm pretty sure that's the exact same play they ran to Gebhardt early on in the series, which basically they got a cross-buck action going, so everybody think it's going right. Gebhardt's coming back left, so kind of using that Mustang speed against itself, getting everybody going downhill, and all of a sudden they're coming back the other way.
Looks like the Trojans are going to go for 2 here.
Yeah, like I said, they don't have much of a kicking game, so they're pretty much going to be going for a 2-point conversion on about every one of their scores. Kind of got an unusual set right here.
Direct snap to Gebhardt. Jukes back to his left. Well defended there by the Mustangs. That's McCarn on the stop. I believe that's swinging gate if I'm not.
The gate never swung, though.
It's just closed.
And I wonder if Gebhardt's left-handed as well. He seems to be more comfortable going to his left side. I think he was originally supposed to go right, and the Mustangs kind of collapsed in, and he started going back left. So just looks like the ball's more comfortable in his left hand. So maybe something to key on later on, you know, if number 30's in. Hey, maybe let's look to see if he's going to the left.
19.1 seconds remaining in this first quarter, 6-0 your score.
We weren't able to get on live early enough for the introductions of the Rock Creek Mustang cheerleaders, but here at Backroads Broadcasting, we wanted to give a shout out to senior cheerleader Kennedy Stevie, who is at home watching, not able to be here. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and wish you the best of luck and to get well soon. And I know everybody here in the Mustang family is pulling for you, and the cheerleaders, if you didn't get to see it, did put up a big sign for you, gave massive applause and a shout out to you. So Kennedy, if you're watching, we're thinking about you.
Back deep for the Mustangs, number 34, Trevor Christensen, and number 5, Dawson Rankin. Kicking off for the Trojans is number 12, Wyatt Boyd.
So first quarter, only 19.1 seconds left. Mustangs weren't able to do much with the wind at their back. Not a huge wind, but we'll see if they could do more going into the wind here in the second quarter. They may have one or maybe two plays.
Received by Rankin. Takes up the right side. He's going to be brought down by number 24 of the Trojans. That is Canyon Douglas. Mustangs set up shop on the 32-yard line.
So I know it's not ran very often in the run and shoot or the spread offense, but right now I think they're just keying so much on the pass. Again, we got an empty backfield. We got, you know, quads right. It's going to allow the Southeast Saline to basically keep running their stunts that they're doing.
Here's Mackley on the keeper. Called a gain of 4 on the play. That'll take us to the end of the quarter here.
Yeah, so again, they had 48 on the outside edge out there. Looks like he's going to be in a coverage and still just comes in. So Mustangs going to have to find some way to disrupt the rush of the Trojan defense here and start looking downfield. You know, they don't want to give up that long ball, but now may be the time Mustangs kind of start looking a little bit further downfield. The Trojans aren't giving them anything short.
And doing my own stat taking, because I always feel bad that you have to do it all.
And I'm failing tonight.
Mustangs and Trojans sitting about dead even on third and fourth down conversions. Mustangs are sitting at 1 for 3 on third down, and the Trojans 1 for 5. So,
yeah, and it's been pretty balanced. I mean, the Trojans have managed to come up with about 3 or 4 more plays right now, and that's really been the difference just on the last drive. You know, some of them are kind of backbreakers. You know, you think you have them deep, you about have a sack, and then he scrambles for 10 yards and, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, you're going to have that in football. You know, it happened a little bit last year. But, again, these teams are pretty evenly matched. You know, they both went deep in the playoffs last year, and they both expect to go deep again this year. So, you know, right now it's just, I think, to me, it looks like the Trojans are a little bit more comfortable in their offense. I think the Mustangs have been making great plays to keep them where they're at, but the Trojans definitely seem more in sync and more comfortable right now with the offense. Mustangs are going to be looking for that. They just kind of seem out of sync, and we've seen that sometimes too. You know, especially we got, you know, new quarterback, new receivers. Timing may be off just a little bit. Passes are just a little bit too long or a little bit too behind them. That'll come in. That'll work itself in. You know, you can look great in your own practices when you're playing against, you know, the scout team. It's what they always say. But when you actually go out there and play against another team, the speed of that team's a little bit different. The stunts are a little bit different. So I have no doubt the Mustangs will get it figured out. The key is the defense keep playing what they're doing right now to keep them in it.
Here's Mackley, option. Pitches it to Becker. Becker's got room to run. Nice tackle on the outside by number 13 for the Trojans, Cameron Whitty.
Yeah, I think you're going to have a personal foul on that. That looked like a helmet-to-helmet contact. 26 was looking, wasn't really paying attention, was kind of defenseless there, and he came up in him. But
I believe it's coming back with a block in the back for the Mustangs.
So All of my explanation ought for naught. I guess that was the homer right there, thinking that was going to be a penalty on the visiting team. I apologize to anybody from Southeast Saline that's listening in. So it was a good tackle.
2nd and 8 now. Or wait, hold on. I don't think the yardage is updated yet.
Yeah, it's going to be 2nd and 18.
Yep. Empty backfield for Lee. Fires over the middle to Venduska. Nice catch there. I think he was making eyes at him and was like, "Are you going to throw it to me?" And then he actually threw it. I think he caught him a little bit by surprise there, but nice catch nonetheless.
Yeah, kind of just on a slant pattern there. It's kind of really what you want to do. Just get Lee comfortable in it. Take a 6-yard in or a 7-yard out here. Take what the defense gives you. Let him just a little bit much. Good catch by Venduska there, going kind of laying out a little bit for it, but brings up a 3rd and 6. Mustangs a chance to convert right here.
3 receivers near side. Lee looking over to his right. Venduska on the slant again. He's got some room to work with here. And he's going to get enough for the first down, I believe so. Back-to-back big plays for Venduska.
Yeah, and a good play call right there. Again, Trojans were coming on a stunt. They actually sniffed it out. 48 was coming in on a blitz from the outside, in their 3-4 section there. And Max saw Venduska coming across.
3 receivers far side, 2 near side. Lee fires again, this time for number 3, Craneville. Did he get the catch? He did. Back-to-back first downs now for the Mustangs. I'm cooking with Crisco here, Judd.
Yeah, I mean, there was some disagreement from the opposing sideline on whether that was a catch or not, but Craneville's back was to the closest official, and the downfield official said that it was a catch, so we couldn't tell from up here, so we'll call it a catch. But, Mac Lee's throws right now are coming in a little bit low. He needs to get those up just a little bit. Let his receivers do some work after the catch.
Mac Lee drops back again, pressure coming, and that'll be a sack on the play by number 73 and 50 for the Trojans. That is Deacon Byer and Josiah Monday on the stop.
Yeah, good all-around defensive play. Coverage was covered pretty well downfield. Mac really didn't have anywhere to go, but the rush was coming so strong he didn't really have time to let the receivers to get much more than about 15, 20 yards before they were on him.
I think he had the right idea. The pocket just collapsed just a second early on him.
Yep. Again, that'll come with experience.
Craneville and Venduska at the bottom of your screen. Lee, pocket collapsing, fires to Bell, just out of the hands. Another 3rd down coming up for the Mustangs.
Yeah, so kind of going with a wide receiver screen there. I was a little surprised there on kind of a longer yardage at 2nd and 12, trying to pick up a wide receiver screen. I think they've had these seam routes open. They've just kind of missed them right now. I think what they're trying to do is get those short passes in there, get those completions, get that confidence going, not just for Lee as a quarterback, but as you can see right there, just for the receivers to kind of get in the flow of the game. Right now, Craneville and Venduska is pretty much handling the load for a receiver.
Check down to Becker. He's got some room to run. Nice tackle on the edge there by Friesen. Bring it about 4th and medium now for the Mustangs.
Yeah, so kind of an in-between right now. You don't really want to punt it too far out for a field goal based off the attempt going on the wind. So they're going to have to reach into their bag of tricks here, see if they can come up with an 8-yard play.
Empty backfield for Lee. 3 receivers far side, 2 near side.
And that helps too.
That does help.
Go with a hard count. Something I've been noticing, I don't know if it's by design or what, but we talked about the speed and the athleticism of the receiving crew, but I just don't see them exploding off the ball in the snap. It seems like they're just kind of going out just a little bit, so maybe the patterns aren't quite there, quite as crisp yet. And I'm old, so I can be totally just,
4th and 3 coming up for the Mustangs. 9:24 remaining here, 2nd quarter. 3 receivers far side, 2 near side. That's Bell and Becker. Empty backfield for Lee. We're going to have a timeout. Coach Stephen wants to talk things over.
Yeah, it looked like there may have been a little bit of confusion on the far left side there. Vendeska and Christensen were kind of talking to each other about where they were supposed to line up, and that might have been part of it. Maybe by design, maybe they just wanted to see what defense they were coming out in so they could draw them up a play here.
It always could be a decoy, too. You never know.
You never know. A tackle didn't check in as an eligible receiver just yet, but this timeout's going to be brought to you by Dara's Corner Market. Changing the way you think about their gas stations. Come inside to find everything from canned goods to fresh baked pastries and fruit. Also, don't hesitate to download that Dara's app today to get access to discounts and rewards, as well as great deals and specials every day. Serving 7 convenient locations in the Manhattan and St. George area, Dara's Corner Market's more than just your neighborhood gas station.
.9:24 remaining here in the second quarter, 6-0 your score. 4th and 3 for the Mustangs here.
Good work by our camera person up there on top of the roof, Cody. They're giving you a shot of both the Mustangs dance team and the Mustang cheerleaders. Big play right here for the Mustangs. 4th and 3.
3 receivers far side. Bell and Becker at the bottom of your screen. Empty backfield for Lee. He's going to fire over the middle, just off the hands of Craneville. And that'll be a turnover on downs for the Mustangs.
You know, again, that catchable pass, but still a low pass that's coming in around his knees, you know, gets that up at least waist high and hit him on the run. I think Craneville's in for 6 on that. There, you know, both safeties were up. He found the seam. You know, a little bit of a timing thing. And, you know, we've seen some drop passes. So, again, the Mustangs will get it worked out. You know, they had some of the same issues early on last year. You know, and that kind of led to last year's defeat against this very same team. But, you know, they'll make those adjustments. But, again, that pass comes up a little bit. Receiver makes that catch. They're in for 6.
Hopkins and Woody at the bottom of your screen. Handoff is to Friesen. He's going to have enough for the first down. Good job of mixing it up here for the Trojan offense.
You know, Friesen, again, he's a good, strong, hard runner there. I don't know if you noticed, but he's carrying that ball on the right side, on his right arm. Defense is coming in from that side. He's not switching that ball to the outside arm, protecting it. Defense, if I'm that, I'm trying to put my helmet on that ball in the future.
Motion man. It's going to be a keeper for Carroll. Breaks one tackle up the middle, lowers his shoulder. He's going to have another first down.
That was a good misdirection. They really sold the handoff well on that. Picked up the first down. Again, they're kind of mixing things up right now, catching the Mustangs off guard, kind of using their speed against them with misdirections. And I kind of worried about that with the athleticism the team has and the speed they have. They over-pursue that ball, and it's going to bite them at some point in time. And here we've seen 2 or 3 plays now that here in the first half where that's come up.
1st and 10, 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. As Carroll looks at the sideline for change of play. Joined in the backfield by Friesen. Carroll on the keeper. Juke move brought down by Spiller. Nice tackle there.
Yeah, that was one-on-one. He's either making that tackle or that's going to be a touchdown. So good job by Spiller there. Didn't start the game, but we've been seeing him come in here now at outside linebacker. Of course, you still got McCarn now. Now you got Spiller, so I think they're trying to create a new identity back there with a new linebacking group.
3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Gebhardt on the carry, up the middle, still on his feet, and he will get the first down.
I think I'm on to something. Again, looked like a design play for him to go right, and as soon as he gets it, he stops and immediately takes a left turn and goes straight up.
I thought it was going to be a little play action. They were going to get him on a check down, but
Mustang defense needs to come up with a stop here. So you get your offense clicking. You don't want to go down by 2 touchdowns here in the first half.
Gebhardt in the backfield. Gets it on the sweep. Nice hit there initially by Lee. Couldn't stick it out.
And Lee's feeling it. Kind of stinger there on the left shoulder. That was a great hit. Gebhardt going left. Lee met him. Nice hard hit. Now, I saw Lee playing safety some at the Jamboree, and I kind of questioned whether or not you wanted your starting quarterback out there at safety, but I'm allowed to question because I don't coach, and I'm an idiot, so.
Carroll files over to Thaxton. Thaxton dancing around. Positive gain on the play. And that'll move the chains. Trojans knocking on the door of the end zone here. 7:02 remaining in this second quarter. 6-0 still your score.
Well, with that being said, Mac Lee's over on the sideline. It struggled just a little bit, but there was a little bit of a challenge in camp this year. Number 4, Gavin Rosa, was slinging the ball, put up a challenge. Mac Lee had to earn that job. It wasn't handed to him, but they were comfortable with the way Rosa was playing in camp this year. So, we may see an opportunity for him to come in and get a few snaps here or there, see how Lee recovers after that hit.
Here's Carroll on the keeper. Breaks one tackle. Needs to be brought down by Welfringer. Good string of plays here for the Trojan offense.
Yeah, their offensive line's really controlling that line of scrimmage and basically doing whatever they want right now. And, they got some big guys on there. It's, Mustangs may have to kind of switch their approach here, maybe step away from speed and get a little bit more meat up there in the middle to try to fill those gaps, block those holes. So they're not beating them on the edges. It's between the tackles.
It's true. Empty backfield for Carroll. Friesen in motion. He'll get it on the outside. Nice play by Christensen. Initial tackle. And number 51 for the Mustangs in on the stop as well. That is Wade Rottinghouse. Not only a good string of plays here for the Trojans, but time of possession as well. They're encroaching right now on, I think, 4.5 minutes, 5 minutes of possession time here in this third quarter or second quarter.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they want to do. They don't want the Mustangs to get in a rhythm and find their groove. They kind of struggled right now, find that rhythm. As long as they can keep on the sideline, keep them cold, they'll never find it.
Here's Carroll rolling to his left. Pressure coming by Spiller. Is he going to get there? Throws it for Thaxton, but he's going to be out of bounds. Nice pressure there from number 7, Ezra Spiller.
Hats off to the official over there for clearly identifying that receiver was out of bounds out there.
That was one of those. That was one of those strike 3 call-outs right there. That they pause for a second and then they just go all in.
Fun to see.
4th and 10 coming up for the Trojans. We're going to have a timeout on the field.
Yep, they're going to want to talk about that one. That timeout here at the 5:43 mark. The second quarter is going to be brought to you by Farmer State Bank, your full-service bank with over 100 years of community banking service. Founded in 1898 in Westmoreland with branch locations in Onega and Manhattan, Farmer State Bank provides a variety of personal and business services, including checking, savings, and IRA accounts. Look it up right now, and students can earn cash for good grades with their Books and Bucks checking account. To learn more about that and many other options that they have, visit any of their 3 locations or visit them online at bankwithfarmers.com. Member FDIC and your equal housing lender. I just really like saying that last part.
5:43 remaining, 6-0 score. 4th and 10 coming up for the Trojans. So a little bit of a tester here on their best offensive drive of the evening.
Yeah, and it's going to be a long 10, too. It's almost 10.5, 11 yards, but here's a good chance for the Mustangs right here. Try to keep them out of that end zone, and it's going to be a long field even if they do get the stop and the Mustangs get the ball back with the rhythm and the offense. Just hasn't found its groove yet, but it's really a no harm, no foul if you're a Trojan right here, to go for this. Again, they don't have much of a kicking game. The only question is what kind of misdirection may they do, and, what receiver downfield they're going to try to find.
3 receivers near side.
Gebhardt's in the backfield. I bet it's going left.
Here's Carroll looking, steps up in the pocket, fires for the end zone, and we're going to have a flag on the play. That'll be on number 15, Carson Tobirin of the Mustangs. May have gotten there a little early.
Yeah, I think probably what got him caught from that back judge is I think his left arm was actually wrapped around the receiver. So he's going to try to knock the ball down, but he had a hold of the backside of the receiver. And anytime you have them like that, wrapped up like that, I think you're going to get that call going against you.
And I think, a legal procedure we have pass interference on the Mustangs. So we'll see where they spot the ball here. They cancel out, so we'll have a replay of 4th down. But what I was getting ready to say was I feel like, PI can be one of those, it's like a charge call in basketball. It can kind of either go 50-50.
Yeah, it really can. I mean, and yeah, we don't have the charge line here to help us out with that, but pass interferences are always kind of a 50-50 call. And actually, you may see more offensive pass interference called this year because they've actually changed some of the rules about defensive players not being defenseless as well when they're going for that ball.
Fumble snap. And ball's loose, but it'll be recovered by the Trojans. That was Cade Welfringer off the edge. How about that?
Yeah, he absolutely just leveled Carroll on that. He didn't see him coming. He put a helmet right in his numbers and put him down. That was a good, solid hit. Carroll's kind of feeling that, but Southeast Saline got back on the ball. Probably wouldn't have mattered much. I don't think Mustangs had anybody close that was going to be able to scoop that up and advance it, but good job by the Mustangs there, getting a stop, turn that ball over. Not only that, but actually end up with better field position now they're going from the first
I was going to say, as a lineman, you see that ball on the ground, you're chomping at the bit. You want to get that. That's your moment to shine right there.
Yeah. I never got to experience that. I was always too far back in the backfield.
Here's Rosa rolling to his right, fires over the middle for Craneville. Be tackled by a host of Trojans. A trio of Trojans?
A trio of Trojans, yeah.
Say that 5 times fast.
No thanks. I may say something not allowed. So, yeah, so I was talking about, in camp, Rosa was slinging the ball, challenged Mac Lee for the quarterback. He's actually another receiver that could be out there as well as a safety. But, Mac Lee on defense got a stinger in his shoulders. Timing was off just a little bit. He does have his helmet back on. He's ready to go. But we're going to see what Rosa could do here, see if he can kind of put a spark in this Mustang offense.
One receiver far side, that's Bell. Becker joins Rosa. Rosa drops back to pass. Got time. Fires over the middle for Craneville. Just a little behind him. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 coming up for the Mustangs.
Yeah, a little behind him, but, other than that, I think would have been a good pass. He had to go up high. That was something we talked about that this team has the ability to do is go up high and get that pass. He was actually surrounded by guys. The only place that was going to go was up high. But have you noticed just how relaxed Rosa looks? It's not like it's, oh, hey, I just came in and played my very first varsity football. He's just like,
Hey, no, nothing new.
No big deal.
Mr. Cool Guy. Rosa drops back to pass. Fires to Bell. And call it a gain of 2 on the play. And one thing we saw last year, we had the big highlight plays from Ethan Burgess and Dalton Whitworth, Jaden Winans. But one thing we saw as well was the Mustangs were really well around the mid-range passing game as well.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, so many of those teams were just worried about the deep threat of Burgess that they absolutely just gave up 7, 8, 10-yard passes constantly.
Pressure coming. Rosa's hit as he throws. Pass is caught by Venduska after it's battled. Venduska puts his head down, and he'll get the first down. How about that?
Yeah, sometimes the ball just needs to bounce your way a little bit. But, Trojans came with a full-on blitz. But, again, Rosa just relaxed. I mean, he just backpedaled, didn't freak out. Found Venduska, tip ball. Venduska still came up with it. So they're going to decline that penalty, and they're going to end up with a first down here.
Wait for the official ruling on the flag. Pass interference on the Trojans.
Yeah, so he ended up picking up about 6 more yards after that tip drill. That's why you do them. I think we talked about that some last year.
I think we did. Yes, we did.
Everybody makes fun of the tip drill, but, hey, the ball bounces funny. Those tip drills matter. So Venduska picked up the ball, got pass interfered, found that tip ball, landed right in his lap. He picked it up, went another 6.
Here's Rosa, drops back to pass, fires for Bell. He's got some room to run. He'll be met by another trio of Trojans on the far sideline. One thing I was going to say, too, one thing we saw last year, especially with this Mustang defense, it almost kick-started the offense. A big stop on defense, a good offensive drive would follow.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, they fed off each other a lot, especially there in the last half of the season where the defense really started stepping up. I mean, they came up with some big plays and some big opportunities, big 3rd down stops, 4th down turnovers. It seemed like the offense was ready to come out, just basically throw a home run ball right off the bat. I kind of start seeing the Mustang swaggers changing right now on this particular drive, but gonna have a false start there on the Mustangs. Or a legal procedure.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
And penalties, I mean, about that even too. We got, let's see, 5 and 4 for each respective team.
Yeah, it's I think early on in the season is always kind of a tough deal with penalties. Last year, I think the Mustangs had 5 for 50 yards, and so they're already a little bit more this year. And that's a nice wide receiver screen there.
Here's Christensen, gained the yardage from the penalty back. And Mustangs are looking at about a 3rd and short here, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
So Rosa started out in a shotgun, and I bet he drifted back another 7, 8 yards, which made it just that much further for that defense to run, which is brilliant because now your defensive linemen are trying to run 15, 20 yards downfield, just try to pick up a sack, and you're running a wide receiver screen.
Here's Rosa, fires to his right. Intended target was Becker. A pass will be incomplete. 4th down coming up for the Mustangs.
Trying to decide if that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. It seemed like it kind of looked like something I would throw, a little wounded duck out there. So I don't know if that was tipped or.
4th and 5 for the Mustangs. 3 receivers, Crane, Bill, Venduska, and Becker. Christensen and Bell far side. Empty backfield for Rosa. Drops back, pressure coming. Fires over the middle for Venduska. That's caught. Man on his back. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. Have yourself a day, Dagan Venduska.
Yeah, we got a flag back at the line of scrimmage, so we'll see if this is going to be a holding call, see if this is coming back.
We're going to have holding on the Mustangs. And I believe punt team's coming out for the Mustangs.
Yeah, so they had a pretty decent drive there. Good job by Rosa kind of jump-starting the offense a little bit there. Penalties come back to bite them on that, but a couple good bounces go their way. But starting to see some different things out of the offense, I think they see the speed rush coming out of the defense, so I liked how they had Rosa just dropping back a little bit more, make them run a little bit further, and it opens up that field a little bit more for those screens. But unfortunately, penalties come and rear their ugly heads and stalled it.
High punt for Bell.
Great bounce.
It'll take a nice bounce for the Mustangs, and it looks like the Trojans will shop on about the 19-yard line.
That would go as a 30-yard punt in the books.
.236 remaining here, 2nd quarter. 6-0 still your score. As the Trojan offense set up almost in 2-minute here. 2-minute drill here, Judd.
They really are, and that'll be different for them because they've been kind of running a very conservative, very deliberate offense. Now I know they want to get the ball back, or want to get the end zone before the end of the half.
Empty backfield for Carroll. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 2 far side. Low snap. Carroll will keep it, rolls to his right. He'll be stopped there by Venduska. Just short of the 1st down marker.
I'm sure that's something the coaches of Southeast Saline is going to talk about at halftime, too. It seems like they've had quite a few snaps that have come in right at his shoelaces or right at his ankles, and kind of throws off the whole timing of the play. But, again, when you're athletic like him and you can go ahead and scramble for 8 yards after a bad snap, it kind of helps the cause. But it certainly throws off the rhythm of everything else, so I'm sure they're going to talk about that.
Another empty backfield for Carroll. This time rolls to his left. Pass is complete to Friesen. Friesen met by a host of Mustangs. Spiller's in there. Number 15, Tabirin. Number 35, Cooper Sieben.
Yep. Another low snap, but is able to get it to the outside to Friesen and get a 1st down. And Mustangs need to take advantage of that. Every time that Carroll's got to reach down to try to pick that up, it takes his eyes off going downfield to find his receivers.
Gebhart in motion. Carroll fires back to his left. That's Thaxton. Stopped immediately by number 5, Dawson Rankin.
It's a prime example on that play right there. You had Gebhardt in motion. He's going to the right. That snaps up. You know, if that's supposed to be an intended handoff, that play's already broken, and now you're scrambling. So,
minute 30 to play here, second quarter. This would be a big stop for the Mustangs if they can somehow capitalize on this field position right here. Here's Carroll, looks to his left, fires for Thaxton. Thaxton spins off one defender. Be brought down just short of the first down marker.
Looks like neither team's terribly interested in using their final timeouts here to stop the clock either. See some tired guys out there.
Empty backfield for Carroll, rolls to his right. Pressure coming. Spiller, can he get there? He's got an ankle lock, and he'll bring him down. Sack by number 7, Ezra Spiller.
Late timeout. Mustangs trying, hollering for a timeout, trying to get one called, get the clock stopped. Finally got it. Great sack in the backfield again. Mustang defense comes up big on a play, but that's going to bring up 4th down.
Shout out to the WWE. Had him in the Kurt Angle ankle lock over there.
It's going to
nice play by Ezra Spiller.
Kind of a tough spot here. We'll see if they actually have a punt team or not. You certainly don't want to go for it right here. You know, you're sitting at about, 4th and 16 on the Mustang side of the ball. You definitely don't want to turn it over right here, and Mustang giving them good field position. So my guess is that with only 38.2 seconds left, they're going to try to kick this ball somewhere out of bounds, about 30, 40 yards downfield, best case scenario. Or they'll run it. We'll see.
That's true.
Yeah, both offenses kind of struggled finding their groove. You know, part of that's the defense have stepped up and made play on both sides of the ball when they really needed to. The other part of it, I think, is just, you know, some of the timing and the consistency just isn't there yet for the offense. But, you know, sometimes I think the defense early on in the season is kind of ahead of the game a little bit. It always takes the offense a little bit of time to come into play. So both coaches trying to find a scheme that will work right now to get some confidence going on their offense.
Back deep for the Mustangs, number 34, Trevor Christensen, and number 5, Dawson Rankin. It looked like the Mustang offense starting to come alive that last possession. Kick is away.
Get away.
It's going to take a Trojan trot, and it'll be down at about the 46-yard line. Like that little improvisation there.
Yeah.
Trojan trot.
Well, I think when you're live, everything you say is a little improv, but I like it.
Yeah.
So it's
it's
always dangerous for us to improv on live because you never know what's going to come out of our mouths and who we may offend.
33.2 seconds remaining, second quarter, 6-0. First and 10, ball in the 47 for the Mustangs. Rosa back in at QB, joined in the backfield by Becker. He drops back to pass. Fires deep down the left side for Bell. Batted away by Thaxton and number 6, Jaden Cluster. Or, excuse me, that's number 5, Gannon Jacobson.
I had a question online. Who is number 57? For the Mustangs, number 57 is Corday Kirksey. Not sure if they were in the game and we missed it or if it's just an opportunity to get a shout out to Corday there, but worked either way.
Worked, yeah. Second and 10 now, 27.7 seconds remaining. 2 receivers either side for the Mustangs. Rosa drops back, pressure coming. Fires, steps up the middle, caught by Venduska. Who else? Somebody stop that man.
Yeah, good seam route right there. You know, he got a big target there. Venduska's 6'2", running down the middle of the field. Again, Rosa just looks really, really comfortable right now throwing the ball. You know, in his opinion, really, I got nothing to lose. We're down by 6. I'm backup quarterback, chance to play. It's like Johnny Moxon.
My math may or may not be correct here, but I think that's at least 5 straight passes to Venduska over the last possessions.
I think you may be right. So
don't quote me on the math part, but you know.
Actually, I think he had one to Craneville that was high that Craneville wasn't able to come down with. He was kind of in a crowd of people, and it was a little bit behind him. But, yeah, for the most part, I mean, he's looking to the right. You got Venduska and Craneville on the same side. So those are probably your number 1 and number 2 receivers right now, I think, for this core. So he's looking over there. So trying to come up with a play here. They got 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Already picked up about 20 yards on that play. 19.6 left, so you don't necessarily have to go to the end zone here. You could try to get an out pattern, maybe try to pick up another 1st down, but you definitely want to make sure your receivers are getting out of bounds. You know, throw out another Varsity Blues quote there. It's like, Tweeter, make sure you get out of bounds.
And field goal is not off the table here for the Mustangs. We've seen them pull it out time and time again.
It's not, but it's probably going to be highly dependent upon whether Lee is ready to kick or, you know, they're having to bring in somebody else. But
3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 1 far side, Bell. Rosa drops back to pass. Pressure coming, steps up in the pocket, fires over for Christensen, and he's out of bounds.
What a play. That's a football play right there. Stepped up into the pocket, nice, relaxed, kept his toes behind the line of scrimmage, found Christensen right on the sideline, did what he was absolutely probably told to do in that last time out, is make sure you get out of bounds. Now they got 13.9, fresh set of downs. They really got 3 shots right here. They can go at the end zone.
Just like Judd drew it up.
Just like I drew it up, exactly.
1st and 10, empty backfield for Rosa.
I think what's happening is now you're starting to see the defense key on Vendeska, and that's going to open up other receivers, and that's what this offense can do that they started
Pressure
with last
coming,
year.
rolls to his right, fires for the end zone, off the hands of Becker, almost in for 6. Threading the needle there. Triple coverage.
Yeah, that was, you know, good hard throw. It was right on line. I mean, he put it about the only place you can do, so I don't know if anybody else is open, but, you know, maybe that was part of the problem. Maybe it's just too hard of a throw, hard time for Becker to come up with that. But, hey, we're seeing some life out of this Mustang offense here in the last couple of drives that we didn't see at all in the first quarter and a half. So
8.4 seconds remaining. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. Here's Rosa, drops back to pass, pressure coming, and he's going to be sacked by number 50 for the Trojans, Josiah Monday. 2nd sack of the game.
absolutely untouched, just comes straight up the middle again on linebacker blitz, messing up our week, and time will run out. Mustangs out of timeout, so that's going to be the end of your first half. Mustangs 0, Trojans 6 here for that first half and the first game of the Mustang football season here at the Rock. Isaiah and I will be stepping away. We'll let the camera keep rolling. Mustang band, dancers, and cheerleading will be out there for your entertainment. However, we may not be able to play the music of the dance team because of copyrights. So don't threat if you don't hear a sound. Just enjoy the pictures.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Backroad Broadcasting's presentation of high school football. Second half action coming up. Score is still 6-0. Trojans on top. And I think it's Mustangs ball coming out of halftime.
Yeah, we should start paying attention to that as a professional team here.
Yeah.
Little rushed on the pregame, rolled kind of right into the game, but
I'm going to have to blame that on my stat man, Judd, to my left here.
yeah, I blew it. Yeah, we're doing the last year's recap right through the national anthem and everything, so we apologize for that. Like I said, we got new equipment. You can't see them, but Isaiah and I have fancy new headsets that allows us to like stand up and stuff now. So we're digging life because we didn't pay for any of it either. So.
They take care of us up here. Give a few shout outs in the comments. Shout out to Diane Christensen's Dwayne and Diane watching from Casey, Wyoming. Thank you for tuning in.
Casey, Wyoming. Not 100% sure where that's at. I got family in Gillette, Wyoming, which isn't far away from Devil's Tower, if you're familiar with that area along I-90.
I just know it's in Wyoming. So you're doing better than I, Judd.
Yeah, reading is good.
Reading is good.
Yeah, so first half, both offenses kind of struggled a little bit, finding their rhythm. Both defenses were being pretty disruptive exactly when they needed to be. So low-scoring affair, probably not what we were expecting coming into this. Both offenses will be high-powered offenses. I guarantee they'll be averaging 30, 40-plus points a game later down the line. Right now, just not finding that rhythm. Mac Lee looked like he was shaking up a little bit on a defensive play earlier. Gavin Rosa came in and played the last two series, and Mustangs kind of got some life in their offense. They do have the ball here to start the second half, so we'll see who comes back out for the Mustangs. My guess it might be number 4, Gavin Rosa, but I'm not going to make that call until we see it.
Back deep is Trevor Christensen and Dawson Rankin for the Mustangs. Christensen fields the kick. Bounces it outside to the left. Some running room. Jukes one man. He'll be brought down after the 30-yard line. Not a bad return there for number 34, Trevor Christensen.
Yeah, I think they're trying to keep it out of the hands of Rankin, who's a speed demon, and Christian's doing a great job with the return. It looks like Mac Lee is going to start the second half here at QB, see if they can find his rhythm with his receivers here. Towards the end of the first half, Vendeska's number came up a lot. Number 13 kind of turned into a go-to so far here in the first half. But let's look to see them mixing it up a little bit more. Look, number 3, Craneville, and 34, Christensen to the right side. Split out Vendeska and Craneville from opposite sides.
Vendeska, the lone receiver at the bottom of your screen. Mac Lee on the give to Becker. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and 7 coming up. Nice stop there by the Trojan front line.
Yeah, hard running 3. We said that at the beginning of the game. I had a chance to talk to Drew Becker in the Jamboree and asked him about his speed. He goes, speed's not there, but the toughness is. He's going to run hard between the tackles. North and south runner, can't really ask for a whole lot more. Winans wasn't a big east-west juke kind of guy.
Yeah.
He can bulldoze over somebody with the best of them. But
And I think that's, like, you look at the textbook definition of a running back. That's what you want right there.
Absolutely.
Becker gets the call again, spins off one defender, and call it a gain of another 2, 3 on the play. So we'll have 3rd and 5 coming up here.
The important part about this, though, is they're establishing a little bit of a run game, and every single time, has been large gains. They've only picked up 5 yards off the last 2 carries, but both times it's taken a whole, what shall we say, phalanx? I believe that's how it's pronounced. I don't know, 4 or 5 of the Trojans to bring down Becker. Drew an offside down there.
I believe that'll go on number 24 of the Trojans. That's Kenyon Douglas.
Tried to break out some Greek references there for the Trojans, but
I see that. Okay, I made that connection now.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
When he said that, it really caught me off guard, and I was like, wait a minute.
Sorry.
Let him cook, as the kids would say.
That's what happens when a Scott Viking tries to talk about Greek.
3rd and 1 for the Mustangs. Lone receiver is Vendeska, bottom of your screen. Mac Lee rolling out to his right. Fires for Christensen. Nice grab there. That'll be a 1st down for the Mustangs.
Looks like Christensen was shaking up on that play a little bit. Looks like he may be holding his knee. Kind of got twisted as he's coming down. Officials are going to take a timeout here. It's going to be an injury timeout. Hopefully Christensen's okay. Coming into a senior campaign, I know he had big ideas and big thoughts on what this team could do and his part of it this year.
While he's being attended to, we will take a short intermission.
And it looks like he's being helped up. Going to walk across field in his own power, happening right there along the Southeast Saline sideline. Just a football play there coming down. Probably got twisted up a little bit. Stomping some life back in that left leg there. It looks like he's going to be okay. And he'll have to sit out at least one play here. I'll get him checked out on the sideline. But again, you know, Mustangs have a pretty deep core of receivers, so they can slide Becker out there. They can bring in Rankin. They can bring in, looks like it's going to bring in, I think maybe Procish is coming in, playing that slot there.
10:38 remaining here, third quarter. 1st and 10 Mustangs ball on the 47. Two receivers near side, one far side. Rolls to his left, fires for number 12.
17, that's going to be Procish.
Thank you, Judd. And call that a gain of 4 on the play.
So kind of running a different set here. They got Bell in as a tight end, so they didn't run very many tight end sets last year. A lot of 4 outs, 3 outs, 2 back, slot back. So Mustangs changing up a little bit. Number 1, Bell sliding into a left tight end there, so they're going to run 2 receivers tight end and really kind of a 2-back, slot back set here.
Procish and Crane built the bottom of your screen. Keeper for Lee. Nice run there by Mac Lee. Looks like 3rd and short coming up here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, good misdirection play there. Got Lee coming up on the quarterback keep up to the middle, bringing up about a 3rd and 3 on this. You know, and again, not big plays. That's one of the things Coach Sieben talked about before the game is we just got to take what the defense gives us. And right now they're not giving them big plays, but they're giving them some forward yardage, and they're going to take advantage of it. Oh, good hard run there by Lee.
I believe he's going to have enough for the first down.
So a little bit of a shoulder stinger in the first half. Doesn't seem to be affecting him right now. So that was a good hard run right there. Just short. Going to bring up 4th and inches here.
2 receivers far side, 1 receiver at the bottom of your screen. That's Venduska. Lee getting a call from the sideline. Rolls to his right, fires for the sideline, and that pass will be incomplete. Intended target was number 17, Hunter Procish. That'll be a turnover on downs for the Mustangs. Trojans will set up shop on the 38-yard line.
Yeah, I think they had the right play. They had Procish out there. Bell actually was coming across too. He kind of did an in and out pattern from that tight end spot. So, but got him rolling out right. All the momentum was going clearly outside to Procish, just threw a little bit too far outside. So Mustangs come up empty on their first possession of the second half.
Here's Carroll joining the backfield by Friesen. He gets the call, and he'll be brought down by number 61 of the Mustangs. That is Mason Faith on the stop.
Yeah, Faith, you know, all league, offensive and defensive lineman. I think they need to look for him to really step up, start shooting some of those gaps. I think Southeast Saline may start looking at trying to establish more of a run game with Friesen and Gebhardt. Gebhardt's in right now. 80% chance it's going left.
Good call, Judd. Trying to reach for that sideline. He'll be brought down by, I believe that's Welfringer on the stop on that sideline. Or excuse me, that's Christensen.
He's a little slow to get up again. Something's still not quite right with that knee. I think he came back a little bit too quick.
Third and 7 coming up for the Trojans. 7:53 remaining here, third quarter. 1 receiver at the bottom of your screen. That's number 12, Boyd. Far side, Thaxton. Officials timeout.
Yeah, Christensen was trying to get to the sideline quicker. He just couldn't get there. Can't tell right there. It may look like an opposite leg cramping up on him right there, but right now I think for the best interest of him is basically just sit out a couple plays, make sure that he's good to go. I know how important football is to him, but it's still a game. But, yeah, it looks like there may be some cramping happening. Not surprising.
Carroll rolls back to his left, fires downfield. He's got a man. What a catch. That's Thaxton. He's off to the races. He's in for 6.
Trojans get a bounce go their way. It's pretty well defended and managed to go up and actually still pull that down. They both kind of wrestled for it, but Mustang defender fell down, allowed Thaxton to go in for the 6 points. Trojans now up 12-0 early here in third period on their first possession.
Looks like the offense is staying on the field. They're going to go for 2 here again. Waiting from the call from the sideline. Gebhardt in at tailback, joined by Friesen. Carroll rolls to his left, fires for the back of the end zone. Thaxton, he can do it once, he can do it twice. 14-0 Trojans.
Yeah, they basically just ran the play that the Mustangs tried to use to pick up the 4th down, just rolling out to the left side, find the receiver there in the edge, just basically left uncovered. So
I think it's that motion that the Trojans are running on that offense. They're faking like they're going right, but then they come back left.
Yeah, there was a misdirection there. They had Friesen going right, got everybody going downhill. And, again, I'm going to keep saying it until I'm wrong, but when 30's in, it seems like they're going left. So even when he's out in the lead block, they got a left-handed quarterback. He seemed to have a left-handed sophomore running back. It's more comfortable with the ball in his left hand. Coach is going to call plays. It's to the strength of his players, and it seems like rolling to the left side just seems to be a better strength right now for them. So I get it that Friesen's, 1,000-yard rusher. You got a key on number 3, but I think they've been using number 3 really as a decoy pretty effectively tonight. The Mustangs have been keying up on it, and they've taken advantage of the Mustang speed by the misdirection plays.
7:22 to play here in this third quarter, 14-0 your score. We were talking at the beginning of the broadcast about last year's team opening up at Southeast Saline. That was, one of their 2 losses last year. And this game almost kind of a copy and paste of how that one started last year as well.
Yeah, not too surprising. I mean, both the teams are kind of coming in with the exact same scenarios. They're really trying to identify what kind of team they have and the players they're going to have. Again, I think the Mustangs have the talent there. They just haven't quite put it all together just yet. And don't take anything away from Southeast Saline. Obviously, it's a very good football team. That's a good run right there.
Nice moves there by Christensen. Still on his feet, down the sideline. Good starting field position for the Mustangs here. I think that leg's doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, got cramped up, come over to the sideline, get that guy some Pedialyte, get him back out there, return the ball.
Pedialyte or pickle juice, one
pickle
of the
juice.
2.
Oh, my God, I'm so glad somebody knows the old school pickle juice. I was actually going to try to figure out how to work that in, but you totally Florida me on that.
I got you. That's happened to me at time or 2.
And that worked out well because the Gatorade of the Florida.
It'll be 1st and 10, ball in the 49 for the Mustangs. 7:11 remaining here in the third quarter. Mac Lee back at quarterback. Sends Venduska in motion. Mac Lee on the keeper. Called a gain of 1 on the play. Nice stop inside by number 56 for the Trojans. That is Killian Vaughn on the stop.
Yeah, so I think the Mustangs right now trying to keep the linebackers and safeties honest, trying to keep them up there, not drifting back and taking away the deep ball. So trying to get them to scoot up and help out in the run game so maybe they can start looking at some strikes 10, 15 yards downfield.
Here's Mac Lee. Option play. He's going to keep it. Mac Lee over the middle. Nice scramble there by Mac Lee. Call it a gain of 5 on the play.
He paid the price on that, but that was a good keep. There's somebody out there that's teeing on Becker the whole time, so I think if he'd have pitched that, they actually would have lost yardage on that. So good job for Lee to turn that up. Again, took quite a shot from behind, but managed to pick up 5 yards on that, 6 yards on that.
Here's Rosa checking in for Lee, new quarterback in the game for the Mustangs. 3 receivers far side, 1 near side. Bell, bottom of your screen. Rosa drops back to pass, fires to his right side. Caught by Cranebill. Cranebill will have enough for the first down.
Twice.
That's right.
I mean, he had the first down the first time and ran back 4 yards and went to go back in and crossed it. So, but again, just coming off the bench, Rosa just calm, relaxed. We talked about it off camera in between periods there at halftime, and it's just his demeanor. I mean, he's just always, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
So, and that's what they need right now, a relaxing presence there, slinging the ball around, get the receivers involved in the game.
Pocket collapsing. Rosa fires over the middle for Venduska. Caught. Breaks a tackle. He's in for 6. Dagan Venduska with the first touchdown of the season for the Mustangs.
You got a cool gunslinger quarterback.
Exactly.
You got a 6'2" receiver. Take advantage of it.
I think that's a perfect combination for 6.
Yeah, it's clear that number 13's become a primary target for number 4 early on in the game. He seems to be looking at him a lot. And why not? Like I said, you got a 6'2" receiver out there running down the seam route down the middle against a 5'9" corner.
Looks like the offense is staying on the field to go for 2. And one thing to attribute to that, too, Gavin Rosa, we see him being calm in the pocket. Even under pressure, takes a hit, throws a dart over the middle, and it goes for 6.
Actually, they're going to bring in their freshman kicker, Jackson Pendle, who's going to come in and try the point after. So puts it through right down the middle, no problem. Nice, easy kick for him. Like I said, I was watching this kid kick earlier. He was kicking 35, 40-yard bombs. So just happened to have Gavin Rosa out there who's holding the ball for him. That's who he's used to doing it. So worked out well that your quarterback just throws a touchdown pass out there. Freshman kicker puts one through. Like I said, they're going to have some options on special teams. So good job there by the freshman.
5:24 remaining here, third quarter, 14-7. One-score ball game here, folks.
I would imagine at some point in time he will probably take over the kickoff duties, but I think the last thing they want right now is to have him out there at his size getting trucked on a return by somebody right there. So why not? Why not use your freshman kicker to kick the extra points and have somebody else kick off for you?
Maybe, that happens sometimes. You see it in college, NFL, kickers can lay a hit on somebody.
Well, I mean, got a free weight room for 4 years. If you're not taking advantage of it, what are you doing?
That's true. That's just true.
So the Mustangs have what's not really a win much at all anymore. It's pretty well died down, was at their back, but pretty calm night. Turned into a nice, cool night, actually. 5:24 left in the third period. Trojans up 14-7 after that Mustang touchdown and a point after attempt by Pendle.
Back deep for the Trojans, number 3, Nathan Friesen, and number 13, Cameron Whitty. Little squib kick from Lee. Friesen on the return. Turns the corner up the sideline. Another good return for number 3, Nathan Friesen.
Yeah, he's kind of scary when he gets a full head of steam going. I mean, he's a hard runner, and he is decent-sized guy, so he's kind of a north and south runner as well, just like we were talking about with Becker. So he was able to get about a good 20-yard head start on that. So good job of the Mustangs to bring him down, even if it was out to the 45. They don't bring him down there. They're not going to.
So a little shift in momentum for the Mustangs after their score. Make it a one-possession game. We'll see if defense can use some of that here. 1st and 10, ball in the 45 for the Trojans. And here's number 13 on the carry. Whitty up the sideline, crosses over midfield into Mustang territory. Call it a gain of 6 on the play.
Yeah, so they're using some cross buck and some misdirections there again. But, to go back to that touchdown pass by Rosa, I don't know if they caught it on camera or if you saw it, but did you happen to see who the first person was out on the field that congratulated Rosa on that touchdown pass?
Who was that?
Mackley. So that's a team player right there. That's what they want to see out of this Mustang team, is they play as a team.
Nice hard run by Carroll. I think that's going to be a first down for them. I think he might have got caught with a face mask there.
Yeah, it looked like number 35 there. Cooper Seaman got his hand up in the mask a little bit. I think he let go of it, but damage was done. So I think that's going to end up being a personal foul, an additional 15.
Yeah. It's tough when you're getting blocked and you want to get active, get on the play, and caught a piece of him there.
4 or 5. Guess I'll need to break out the rule book, see if they have an incidental.
I need to brush up on my rules here and my math. I mean, I've been trying to keep track of penalties here, and it looks like a kindergarten drawing on my. And here's Carroll on the carry. Call it a gain of 6. But yeah, I got a bunch of chicken scratches on my paper here. It's not looking too pretty.
It was a good job by Carroll there. Mustangs guy actually got back in the backfield on that, but he managed to find a seam and sneak out through.
The second down coming up, 4:11 here remaining in this third quarter. 2nd and 3 for the Trojans now.
Watch for an end around to 13 here.
Yep, Woody's the motion man. And Friesen will get the call. He'll be well past the first down marker. Trojans coming up on the red zone here with 3:54 remaining here in the third quarter.
Yeah, so they've kind of abandoned their 50-50 right now. They're pretty run heavy right now so far in the second half, other than the exception of the one touchdown pass that kind of got over the head and in. But here on this series, it's been mostly run. So expect them to start really kind of putting some in the air here just to kind of mix it up so the Mustangs stay off balance.
Carroll with the give to Friesen. He's going to be brought down by Welfringer and number 15 for the Mustangs. That is Carson Torbieren. Second down coming up for the Trojans.
Yeah, I don't know if he shook the block there or just happened to be in the right place at the right time. He met him right at the line of scrimmage. A good job getting it wrapped up. Again, Friesen's a hard runner. Tough to bring down on their own.
Boyd, the receiver at the bottom of your screen.
Going left.
Gebhardt, the backfield. Carroll rolls to his left, fires for number 13, Whitty, and he'll move the chains again. And the Trojans knocking on the door of the red zone once again.
I call another play right. I'm going to start applying for defensive coordinator position somewhere.
That's fair. I can't argue with that, honestly.
But again, it seems like every time number 30's in Gebhardt, they're either rolling the quarterback left or handing it off to him left.
Carroll on the quarterback keeper. Called a gain of 3 on the play. Bring up 2nd and goal now for the Trojans. 2:40 remaining here.
No, and I wouldn't be terribly shocked right here if we don't see something, even though it's a short side of the field, having a receiver basically do a double move that ends up going the outside, rolling to the left side, just like they did for their 2-point conversion. But they're going to do a misdirection here.
Carroll on the keeper, and he's in. Quarterback keeper goes for 6.
So the Trojans answer right back on their very next possession. Again, I don't believe they have a kicking team, so they'll probably end up going for the 2-point here.
Let's see Gebhardt in at the back here.
Mustang defense looked a little tired there on that one. They're working hard and using their speed, but may have to try to roll in some fresh bodies.
Here's Carroll, rolls out to his left, fires for the end zone for Whitty, and 2-point conversion will be no good. Your new score 20-7, 2:17 remaining here, third quarter.
Yeah, run that play once, fool me once, run it twice. I guess fool me a second time. No, Mustangs come up and they stop it. Looked like the exact same play they tried to do the 2-point conversion last time. They had Gebhardt in, rolling to the left. Carroll going out the left side, tried to get it to Thaxton, and Mustangs sniffed that one out, so knocking down that 2-point conversion. So, again, now just down by 13 with the ball coming back with 2 minutes, 17 seconds left. Style offense Mustang run, it's plenty of time with their style offense to get it going. I'm going to assume we know what to do about that, but probably the Trojans, if they get the ball back, will probably try to start working the clock a little bit more, running a little bit more, keeping the ball out of the air. Mustangs are going to try to do some quick strikes here, I'd imagine. See if Rosa comes back out to throw the ball around.
Boyd to kick for the Trojans, back deep, Rankin and Christensen for the Mustangs. 2:17 remaining here to play. And on this possession, 2 minutes, 17 seconds remaining third quarter. Mustangs don't need a quick score.
No, they just still need to find their rhythm. They need to do what they were doing, It's okay if they happen to break one, that's fine, but I don't think you're intentionally trying to do 25, 30-yard passes right now. First thing you got to do is get the ball and
takes a bounce. Christensen picks it up, and well covered by the kicking team there, the Trojans. Mustangs will set up shop, call it about the 22, 23-yard line there.
So I imagine the Trojans, again, are going to try to take away the deep threat now, probably bring safety across the middle to keep that seam shut down. So Medeska can't do that. So start looking for those shorter routes, slants, 3-4 yards across the middle, out patterns here or there. They got, looks like Rosa's back out there, so he's going to be, pretty calm about it. Even in a shotgun, he's not afraid to drop back another 4 or 5 yards and make the defensive lineman run more.
Christensen in motion. He'll get the carry on the sweep. Runs into another trio of Trojans. Initial stop made by number 22, Tucker Thaxton, for the Trojans.
Well, they did a good job shedding the block right there that Becker tried to put on, freed up. Got him turned up inside and actually made the tackle in the backfield. Barely got back to the line of scrimmage area.
Bring up 2nd and 10 now for the Mustangs. Empty backfield for Rosa. 3 receivers far side. 1 receiver in Bell near side. Drops back to pass. Plenty of time. Fires over the middle. Just a little high for his intended target, number 26, Drew Becker. 3rd down now coming up for the Mustangs.
Yeah, plenty of time. Offensive line did their job there. Trojans only rushed 3, but Rosa had all day really to find his target he was going for and just missed Becker coming across the middle. Offensive line can give him that kind of time. I would imagine Rosa will be able to do some damage, but they're going to have to figure it out right here, 3rd and 10. They could potentially be in 4th down territory, but
pocket collapsing. Ball is out. Picked up by Becker. Good try to gain some yardage there. And that'll bring up 4th and long now for the Mustangs.
That was good timing there to run a blitz. I believe Mustangs are going to have to punt this one away. They said there's still plenty of time. Turn it back over, let the defense try to get a stop, but you can't turn the ball over right here on the short field.
Back deep for the Trojans, Daniel Carroll and number 22, Tucker Thaxton. Another good punt by Bell, and that'll go out at about the 40-yard line.
Those punts are about 40 yards high. Good hang time on those.
47.4 seconds remaining here in 3rd quarter. As the Trojans shut up shop here. As S's are a little troubling sometimes for me, but here we go.
She sold shells by the seashore.
Handoff is to Friesen. He's got some running room here, and he'll have the 1st down.
Matt's coming back. I think we're going to have a holding call right there. I was about to make a comment. They've been running straight up the tackles and getting big gains, but that hole seemed a little bit bigger than it should have been.
And Mustang defense got to find an answer here for this run game of the Trojans here.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, again, the Trojan offensive line is really kind of pushing around the Mustangs defensive line right now. And, they have some guys there that maybe they need to cycle through, but got a player down, working a cramp in the calf. But, Mustangs got a break there. Now it's time to take advantage of it again with the new rule that holding penalty is going to be assessed from the line of scrimmage and not from a spot foul like in previous years. So that will be a 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. They'll bring up 1st and 20 or 2nd and 20.
And already tough enough as a defensive matchup to go against a run-heavy team, but not only does it wear on both ends, but especially that front line of the Mustangs.
Yeah, and I mean, when the linebackers as well, they got to try to key on the running backs that are coming through. So your safeties are really kind of cheating up. And then if you get them to cheat up, that's when you got to watch out for the ball deep. I mean, that's what happened on their touchdown passes. It was behind the safeties because all the safeties have been coming up. So you had your corner out there on an island one-on-one, just missed, intercepted it, and the ball got just over his hands and in for 6. So 40.7 seconds left here in the third period. We're going to have a quick timeout here, officials timeout. That's going to be brought to you by Faith Furniture. Serving in Manhattan and surrounding areas since 1952, Faith Furniture takes pride in the value, selection, knowledge, and family experience for all of their customers. Whether you're looking for a full arrangement of great-looking furniture for your living room, dining room, bedroom, or office, or just looking for that perfect accent that really ties the room together, Faith Furniture has what you're looking for. When it comes to buying furniture, you've got to have faith.
That's such a good slogan.
It really is. And for you sharp listeners out there on that little ad, there may have been a small quote from one of my favorite movies in there that really ties the room together.
Here we go. 1st and 20 now for the Trojans. Empty backfield for Carroll. 3 receivers far side. Boyd at the bottom of your screen. Carroll on the quarterback keeper. Nice stop there by Cade Welfringer. And those are the plays that the Mustang defense have to make right there.
They really do. I mean, right now you got to count on your leaders right now. That's going to be 30 Welfinger. That's going to be 12 McCarn. Those guys are really going to have to step up and really kind of take over for this defense. They've been out there a lot. You want them to make the plays. Vendeska's been out there and has a lot of tackles there at safety, but you really don't want him being the one that's making all the tackles because by that point in time, they're already 10 yards deep. But that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. That's going to bring up here the fourth quarter. Mustangs down 20-7.
We'll be right back on Backroads Broadcasting with more high school football action. Don't go anywhere, folks. Alrighty, fourth quarter action underway here. Fresh 12 on the clock, 20-7 is your score.
Yeah.
2nd and 17.
Need a big defensive stand right here by the Mustangs. 2nd and 17. Got to get a stop here, get the ball back, and don't necessarily need quick strikes, but again, Trojans going to let this clock run as much as they possibly can on every single play from here on out for the rest of the game.
Carroll rolls to his left, looks back right. He's going to keep it up the middle, puts his shoulder down. Nice run there by number 16, Daniel Carroll.
Yeah, Rankin kind of paid the price on that when he stepped up, tried to make a tackle, and got bulldozed on that. So, but hey, kudos to a corner out there trying to make a tackle, not Deion Sanders that thing. But that was a big gain there for the Trojans, bringing up 3rd and 3. Mustangs need a big stop right here.
Third and 3 for the Trojans. I believe we have a new quarterback for the Trojans as well, number 5. That is Gannon Jacobson. Hands to Gebhardt, slips a little bit, and he'll be slung down right at about the first down marker. We'll see if he gets it.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up with it, but yeah, that play was designed to go right, kind of slipped up there a little bit. Did a good job keeping his balance, didn't have his knee come down, so just the hand came down. That's not a down for high school, but again, brought it back to the left, and he's going to pick up the first down. So Mustangs going to have to dig deep again here. Trojans move the chains, get another opportunity here to keep the ball, keep that clock rolling. Another touchdown here, just about be a dagger through the heart for the Mustangs, so they absolutely have to shut them down, get that ball back.
Jacobson still the quarterback. Gives Carroll a much-needed breather there. Neutral zone infraction on the offense. Normally you don't really see that on offensive end.
Yeah, I think we had a receiver that actually lined up in it on the outside edge, but I didn't quite catch that either. So, yeah, that's not a normal occurrence, but, you know, Trojans keep giving the Mustangs opportunity with penalties, but Trojans do keep doing a good job of digging themselves out of the hole, but keeper there, Mustangs sniffed it out.
That is number 51 for the Mustangs on the stop. That is Wade Rottinghouse.
Yeah, Rottinghouse is one of the new guys that they were looking at this year. His name's been called several times tonight, so I think he's kind of cementing himself there as a defensive lineman. Late in the game, you know they got to be tired. It's been hot the last couple weeks trying to practice.
3 receivers near side, 1 far side. Jacobson drops back to pass, fires to the right side, just off the hands of his intended target. That is number 12, Wyatt Boyd. Be up 3rd down now.
Confidence in the quarterback coming in, giving him an opportunity to throw. He was nice and relaxed back there. Just missed his target on his first throw, but kind of surprising me that they were doing a throw here on a 2nd down, not running the ball, but maybe they have a little bit of different offense set up with Jacobson in there versus Carroll. Not sure why he's not currently in, but hopefully physically he's fine.
Empty backfield for Jacobson. 4 receivers near side. He rolls to his left. Pressure coming. Fires. Passes tipped. That is number 12, Peyton McCarn.
Yeah, that's a great play by McCarn. He was rolling. He was got all of his speed going one direction. Tried to stop and get back to make that, but doing a good job just getting his hand on it, knocking the pass down, bringing up a long 4th and 15. Looks like the Trojans are going to bring out the punt team. So good job there by the Mustangs. Don't fall asleep here, though. Don't get caught up by a fake here at midfield. It's not a terrible place to turn the ball over if you wanted to try to go for it. The guy who's been throwing the quarterback ball around for the Trojans is actually sitting in the mid slot there, so watch out for a direct snap.
Kick is away. Fielded by Christensen. Initially hit by number 2 of the Trojans. That was Malachi Hopkins.
Wrap them up.
I think we've seen that a few times.
Oh, yeah, everybody wants to go for the big hit and the, what do they call it in the basketball, posterizing somebody. But, yeah, I want to get a big hit.
Kodak moment. There you go. Yep.
Get a big hit, stand over them. And
I usually just call that the hit stick. When you're playing Madden, you just flick the right stick forward, and then you do, a truck move or a hit stick. But for you, it's more like what? It's like a, Tecmo Bowl or something.
We had one button and a joystick of the Atari 2600.
Here's Rosa back to pass. Fires over the middle for Bell.
That's going to
be picked off by Gebhardt. Running up the left sideline. And good field position for the Trojans.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit too relaxed on that. That was good coverage. It was on Bell there, and he just kind of threw a light pass in there. So Bell tried to go up and fight for it, but unfortunately that's going to be interception, and Trojans getting the ball right back. So I think Carroll's going to be back in the game. I think maybe he was having cramping problems. I think they were over there stretching him out, so he is back in.
Be 1st and 10, ball on the 30 for the Trojans. 9:29 remaining here, 4th quarter.
Yeah, disregard any eating sounds you may hear.
Here's the give to Friesen. Friesen plows forward. Group tackle by the Mustangs on the play. Peyton McCarn comes up with the football. I'm not for sure. I mean, it looked like in that pile up he might have not been down, but
yeah, it's hard to tell from up here, and we don't have replay, and it'd probably just make us angry at this point in time if it did, because I think that ball actually was loose, but it was just missed. So Trojans have the ball, and they're not going to take any chances. They're going to quick snap it and get it going before anybody can think about it.
we have another flag on the play here.
Wouldn't be surprised there's an illegal procedure, somebody not quite set. They wanted to get on the line and get that ball snapped quick, so.
8:57 remaining here, 4th quarter, 20-7 your score. Wait for the call from the official here.
That's a holding call, so again, that's going to go from the line of scrimmage, so that's going to push him back. Make it 2nd and 17. So again, the Trojans having problems with the penalties, but still manage to dig themselves out of the hole that they keep making for themselves, because the Mustangs struggling just to get the stop and do something once they get it. But anyways, I say disregard the eating sound. Isaiah and I both had a plate full of little Smokies and mac and cheese just set down in front of us. It smells delicious, and try to wait 8 minutes and 50 seconds to eat it.
Carroll rolls to his right, pressure coming, slings it downfield. That's going to be picked off by Venduska. He's off to the races. It's a foot race down the sideline, past the 40-yard line. Good field position coming up for the Mustangs.
Venduska doing what he does best on defense. You don't need him to come up and stop the run all the time. He can sit back there and pick off the passes, the best of them. He's one of the team leaders last year, and he's trying to pick up it again this year. So good job by the Mustangs there. That was badly needed, down to about 8 minutes and 39 seconds in this 4th quarter. They needed something, but now we got a flag on the opposite side of the field. Hopefully that is after the fact. May push the Mustangs back.
I was just getting ready to say before that snap, too. Mustangs need a big play here. A stop on 4th down to jumpstart the offense, and here we go. So it'll be a 1st and 15 now, ball and 45 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, so there's an illegal block on the return, so 10-yard from the spot of the foul. So Mustangs have 1st and 10 on their 45.
Rosa back in at quarterback. 3 receivers near side, 1 far side. And we're going to have offsides on the defense.
Yep.
And
finally somebody put Monday in the place.
There we go.
That guy has been a menace.
With Labor Day coming up, we have Monday off.
We do.
I was trying to make that correlation.
Yeah.
It sounded better in my head.
It'd be okay if that Monday took the rest of the game off. He's been a disruptive force most of this game. And he's back in the backfield again.
Rosa fires for his right.
Jump ball, tip
batted
ball.
Up and picked off by the opposing quarterback. That's number 16, Daniel Carroll.
So right now we're not playing keep away. We're playing give me the ball.
Give me the ball. Hot potato is what that kind of looked like there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Mustangs just cannot take advantage of any breaks that they get, whether it be penalty on the Trojans or getting a turnover from the Trojans. Right now, they just haven't been able to take advantage of it. Now, that's part of being a young team, and I'm sure they'll work on that.
Here's Carroll on the quarterback keeper up the middle. Nice gain there. Call it a gain of 7 on the play. And if you're the Trojans here at on this point in time, Judd, you're cruising down I-70. You got the cruise control, windows down, cranking your favorite playlist at this moment in time.
And that playlist is Run, 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 Run.
That'll be 2nd and 3 coming up for the Trojans. Ball on the 44-yard line. Thaxton, the receiver, at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, I mean, you got a 2-possession lead with 7 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. So the last thing you want to do is stop the clock for no reason.
Friesen gets the carry up the middle. He'll have the first down and more. He'll be slung down by number 30. That's Cade Welfringer.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see number 3 called a lot right now. He hardly ever coughs up the ball. 1,000-yard rusher from last year, hard runner. Mustangs really, for the most part, have kept him in check most of the night, but, you know, Carroll and Gebhardt seems to have done most damage to the running, but, you know, Friesen's still sitting there waiting just his turn to do the damage, and right now it might be his time to do it. You can see they're taking every possible second they can on that play clock, get the play in, so they're just going to run some basic, simple plays. Probably no motions because they're wasting all their play clock just getting the play in.
Here's Carroll on the quarterback keeper. Tackled by a host of Mustangs. That'll bring us to 7 minutes remaining here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and you're going to see probably the most conservative football that you could possibly see on a team right now.
The 2nd and 8 for the Trojans.
The only positive, if there is a positive about this, that allows the Mustang defense to actually catch their breath. So I think if you're a defensive coordinator for the Mustangs right now, what do you got to lose? Start running some stunts, get some linebacker blitzes in there, do some crosses and switches in there, fill those gaps, start trying to grab that ball with the first defender and ripping it away with the second and thirds.
Friesen will be stood up by the Mustang front line, and that'll bring 4th down coming up, or 3rd down coming up, excuse me.
Yeah, it's kind of helpless feeling right now, just watching the clock tick down. You don't want to burn all your timeouts on defense right now with 5 minutes left. You're hoping to get a good stop right here and get the ball back into the offensive hand.
5:40 remaining. Here's Carroll. The pitch to Friesen. Friesen trying to get the edge. And we'll see if he got the first. Looks like he danced his way past the 1st-yard marker, but we'll see if he was ruled out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give him the first down. You know, it was nice they got him out of bounds. Unfortunately, it happened after the first down, so it's really not that big of a deal. Clock does stop, but they get a fresh set of downs. Now they're going to have 1st and 10 on about the 22-yard line or so. And really, the Trojans don't even really have to score again if they can just keep whittling the clock down. Like I said, currently have a 2-possession lead. It absolutely will be a dagger in the hopes of the Mustangs they put one in here, especially if they take another 2.5 minutes to do it.
Thaxton and Whitty, the receivers, bottom of your screen. Give us to Gebhardt right up the middle. He puts his head down. He's in. Grady Gebhardt putting the exclamation point here early on, or late on here in the fourth quarter. 5:20 remaining. That'll increase the score 26-7.
Yeah, this probably sound counterintuitive. You don't want to give up the score, but at this point in time, the way they're milking the clock, at least now you're going to know you have an opportunity to get the ball back in possession, try to get a quick strike and an onside kick, possibly. So it might not be the worst thing in the world to happen for the Mustangs is to have them score right here, and instead of wasting another 2.5, 3 minutes before they score, now you're going to get the ball back with 5 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. And going to be going downfield, going to be looking for quick strikes.
Here's Carroll on the quarterback keeper for the 2-point conversion. Did he get it?
I see no signal. Look like they're going to spot him just about 6 inches shy. So now you're down by 19. You got a kicker that can kick from 40 yards out. So, yeah, you're going to be looking for some quick strikes to the outside, bombs down the middle, whatever. Probably have some plays set ready to go. You don't have to use timeouts. You can spike the ball if you want to, but I imagine they can get on the line quick enough after a first down. But, again, the passes have got to be there. The receivers got to make the catches, so a lot of things got to come in and really start clicking right now for the Mustangs in his last possession right here. It could be. So
I think on the offensive end, maybe opening the playbook a little more here, like you were saying. Afford to gamble a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5 minutes, 20 seconds left, but really, I mean, you're going to have to treat it like a 2-minute drill because it's going to take at least 3 possessions to get this back. So each one of them, I mean, when you're looking at it, you got to treat it like a 2-minute drill just to try to get within field goal range on a possible third possession. So you got to score, you got to onside, get it, score, get an onside, and get it. Because if they get the ball back, you're going to end up burning your timeouts on defense. You're going to have nothing left on offense, and the Trojans are just going to run the ball and waste as much time as they can. Right now, I imagine they're going to squib it as much as they can right down the middle and try to waste time and keep it out of the hands of any of their backs, and that's a big gap right down the middle.
Short kick is away, fielded by Rankin. Dancing around, gets to the edge on the left side, and he'll be ran out of bounds just shy of midfield.
So, again, I mean, you got to treat it like a 2-minute drill. You don't necessarily have to try to go for 30-yard bombs here or there, but you definitely want to be working some out patterns like we saw earlier in, the end of the first half when Christensen was getting the outs. So you're definitely going to want to look on the outside edges. I think the safeties are going to try to push everything back to the middle. They want them to really work the clock. So you might see a seam pattern. Again, if you get it, you get Vendeska running down the seam. Why not throw a 6'2" guy, let him run it out? He's one of the quicker guys on the Mustang team as well.
Mac Lee back in at quarterback for the Mustangs.
Looked like we had a penalty on top. We have a personal foul.
On the kicking team, that'll give the Mustangs good field position here.
Yeah, there was a personal foul, roughing going out of bounds there. So helping the Mustangs out. Again, the Trojans giving the Mustangs opportunities. They just need to start taking advantage of them.
Empty backfield for Lee. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Nice run there by Mac Lee.
That was designed from the get-go. He was taking off the second he had that thing. So no delay, no draw. It was just get it and go. Trojans probably rushing 3, dropping everybody else back, and basically a 2-deep cover 2 safety. Not quite a prevent, but oh no, the ball's down.
It's a quick check down to Drew Becker. Fumble recovery by number 12, Wyatt Boyd.
That's tough.
That kind of took the wind out of the sails.
Yeah,
of the Mustangs.
that's going to be a hard thing to recover from. Got 4 minutes, 43 seconds left. So, again, a lot of field for the Trojans to kind of use and work to milk the clock. You don't want to give up another score now at this point in time. So, really important for the Mustangs. Kind of struggled keeping hold of the ball, as did Southeast Saline, but they managed to recover from their mistakes a lot better at this point in time. That's really been the difference of this game.
Here's the give to number 13, Whitty. And he'll be brought down just shy of the first down marker. Call it a gain of 9 on the play. 2nd and 1 coming up for the Trojans.
Four minutes, 20 seconds left for the Mustangs. Again, looking like it may start out this season the same as last season with a tough loss to Southeast Saline. Still some time on the clock, but again, Trojans are going to use every second they can of that play clock before they get a play in. So, there's not going to be any motion. Not going to get a man going on an end around or anything like that. So I don't think they're going to get too fancy with this unless they need to. But 2nd down and less than really a yard. They got 3 more opportunities to try to move the ball about 24 inches.
Give us to Friesen. And he'll have the first down and more. Finally brought down by Vendeska. Have a touchdown saving tackle there by Vendeska.
Yeah, I mean, it's not how you want to start the season, but there's things to be learned. And again, it's a younger team. It's always easier to go back and look at game film to help fix mistakes. As again, trying to practice against your scout team. Think you're great. Think you got everything going. But there's clearly some things the Mustangs need to work on. But there's some talent out there as well. And they've made some great plays tonight. And again, Southeast Saline is a great football team. They went deep in 2A last year, lost out to Kingman in double overtime in sub-state. So it's not like they're, going against a scrub team here. They started out the season last year, again, losing the first one and then rolled off 9 straight. So there's no reason why this team couldn't do the same thing.
Here's Carroll on the quarterback keeper up the middle. Brought down just shy of the first down marker. And same thing goes with Mustangs here as well. You know, they opened up on the road against Southeast Saline last year, lost a closely contested contest, and then they went on to a game shy of Sub-State, and they had to take on the powerhouse Andale. But, I mean, still a great season nonetheless.
Yeah, and and let's be honest, 3A football basically is going through Andale right now. So I mean, that's basically everybody's target. Coach Schmidt down there sitting, I think, at 55 wins. He basically has to go undefeated and win 2 more state championships before he has a shot at the all-time record. And whether our fans like it or not, we can talk about Andale a lot. It's a piece of history that's happening, and right now the all-time win streak's at 79, and that's actually held by Smith Center and Coach Barta. And I can tell you right now, there's probably no coach in the state of Kansas that wants to beat Andale more than Brooks Barta does at Holt.
That's fair.
Just to save his dad's record. And, he's basically got 2 chances because the only time he's going to run into Andale is going to be in the state championship.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
So you're either going through Andale or you're going through a very, very motivated Holton right now to get to the state championship game. So, and right now what you're seeing running by southeast of Saline is probably a type of style of offense. It's a multi-back running style offense that Andale's going to run. So if you're going to struggle with this team right now doing this in the fourth quarter, I mean, then you got some things to work on before you can get to that other style of play. So not to look, that far down the road, but this is a good tune-up because you're going to play some really, really good teams this year. They're playing the same schedule they did last year.
Here's Friesen on the carry. Falls forward for about 3. We'll see if he gets the first down.
So next week we welcome defending 1A state champion St. Mary's into town, and although they handled them pretty handily last year, and they've got some of their own issues they got to figure out. Hurlow's gone at quarterback, so who's going to be quarterback for St. Mary's? But again, they have some returning players, and they're going to be good again. So
yep. And even though Rock Creek came out with a pretty big margin of victory, there were times that St. Mary's kind of put the Mustangs back on their heels a little bit during that game, whether it was early on in the first quarter, second quarter, but more so in the late in the third quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the rest of their schedule, they look like they handled a lot of teams pretty well, but I have a hard time believing that it's going to be the same Silver Lake, this team that we saw last year. They're going to their second season without their Hall of Fame coach, that Higgins, that's been there for as long as I've been alive, I think. And so, Silver Lake's always going to put together a tough team, and they were kind of in a rebuild last year, so they're going to be tough again. I imagine Clay Center is going to be tough again. So they're going to have a lot of tough games this year. So 9-2 is not unthinkable. 10-2 is not unthinkable. But at the same time, you don't clean up some things, it could be the exact opposite too. I don't expect that. Coach Siebens got the team turn around. He's going for another winning season, and he's been through this before where he's had a lot of seniors leave, and he's had other players step up. So I have confidence that the Mustangs will turn it around and get it going in the right direction again this season without a problem.
Here's the run up the middle for Carroll.
And people listening in, they've talked about love watching this team play, win or lose, whatever it may be. I agree. These teams have been fun the last few years to watch, and a part of that is the style of play, the athleticism. I mean, I love the wide open offense that Coach Sieben runs. I love the style of defense he plays. It's nobody. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, but the boring option and the wishbone and this and that can still be effective, but it takes a special group of kids for that. And really, the type of athleticism talent that Rock Creek has doesn't really suit that. And I think Sieben has found a really good offensive scheme for the talent that he has coming through here and the speed of players. So, like I said, they'll get it together. They'll get it turned around. It wasn't a game I know Coach Sieben wanted. It wasn't what they were expecting, but they knew Southeast of Saline Trojans is a good team, and they knew what to expect from Coach Gebert.
Well said. And Mustangs taking this loss first game of the season, it's easy to dwell on that and everything, but, I mean, look what it catapulted them and the success they had last season. So, like you said, it's a good test against a really good Southeast of Saline team, but Mustangs will definitely bounce back from this.
They absolutely will. I mean, there's things to be learned about this game, and a lot of good things that they can learn from this game and take away from this game. Yeah, I mean, it stinks. Nobody wants to lose any games, but, it's one thing to, come in favored by 30 points and lose to a team that's supposed to have no business playing with you. That's not what this was tonight. This could have gone either direction, and we saw it in the first half. I mean, it was 6-0 for the longest time trying to get things going. So, again, these teams are very, very similar styles, mirrored in a lot of same positions right now. I just think Southeast of Saline Trojans did what they needed to do to climb their way out of the holes that they dug, and the Mustangs just weren't able to do that tonight. So every time they got a break, they just weren't able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow, but they'll bounce back. We will be back in action here
1 week from tonight.
1 week from tonight. I was trying to get that pulled up.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get the date wrong, but yeah.
Yep.
From today.
St. Mary's coming to town 1 week from tonight. Again, Rock Creek Cross Country starting off their season tomorrow at Silver Lake. Want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. This has been another edition of Backroads Broadcasting here at The Rock. I want to thank you all for your viewers for joining us this evening. Thank you to our sponsors, Faith Furniture, Dare's Corner Market, and Farmer State Bank with their support. Without that, Backroads is able to keep their broadcasts free and bringing the action home to you. Shout out to our technical and production team of Cody Roche and Cody Liming. They're really the brains behind the curtain and making this all possible. These guys spent a lot of long hours getting everything set up and ready to go for us tonight. And as mentioned, we had a lot of students helping out today from Rock Creek students, Brooklyn Gibbs, Talia Facey, Cooper McComb, Emma Pushy, and Elizabeth Martinez. So thank you for those kids. I'm Judd McCormick.
I'm Isaiah Dobbins. Thank you for joining us. Safe travels this holiday weekend. Please join us again next weekend, and we'll BRB.